I'm starting. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Is It Kino? Today we have Plot Progressor B,
I came here to drink milk and argue, and I'm all out of milk.
Rika Fag,
A
Necro XIII,
I'm sleepy.
and Digibro from the future.
That would be me, and you're all worse than me. I'm the best amongst you all.
I don't think anyone's denying that.
Oh yeah. Of course.
I mean, you are Digibro from the future, so obviously
Yeah,
objective.
Did you see the latest comments on Reddit? Every time someone mentions him, they say, "Oh, he's just a hater." He used to be the #1 analyst in the community 3 years ago. No, he's so old and he doesn't like anime. Oh, it's like one day he woke up and realized anime are not as good as he thought. I wonder who does that remind me of?
You.
You did call him out on that like years ago. You literally said that you're gonna grow up to become like me and like shit on moe, shit on shows, shit that there's too many anime coming out. And he was like, no, it's not true. There's more choices. It's all good. And you were like, that's bad. Look at the past shows, and they're not as good as today. And now he's literally arguing the exact same thing.
No,
So,
it's hilarious because
Stop.
recently he's been talking, saying moe is boring in general.
Of course. And he doesn't even know what moe is, which boggles my mind.
What the
like,
fuck
how
is
can you
moe?
defend moe when you don't even know moe? It's like, I know Snob, you don't like moe, and you know you're up to your own opinion, but like Digi just doesn't understand moe yet defends it, which doesn't make sense.
He didn't
Some
watch that
people
20-minute
don't
video
understand.
from Pause and Select on it.
Oh yeah.
Something all those people don't understand is that you can only say X amount of things about something you like before it gets repetitive.
Yeah.
And moe tends to be a very simplistic type of series. So how many shit can you say about moe series before you realize that you ran out of things to say?
Depends.
And for an pseudo analyst like
boy.
Digibro, it's like saying, "Oh no, I no longer like moe because the only reason I was watching them is so I can over-analyze them." And now, oh no, shit, now I don't.
I
have
thought
that
it because
mo-
he liked little girls.
No, I mean, depends on who you are. If you're chippy reviews, you can never run out of stuff to talk about. Because you,
Because you just repeat the same crap. That's different. He's not an ally.
It's almost
Ten words in a
comedic.
single video.
It's kind of comedic at this point. The number of times you've used different clips of him saying something completely the same.
wait,
Completely the same.
Exactly.
wait, I got an idea.
completely the same.
Before we start,
The first episode, and I had the feels because the first episode. But the first episode, however, the first episode, I had the feels.
I've never watched Chibi. Is he really like that the entire time?
no,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
no, he's far worse. Because at least with that anime snob, he's doing an impression that is funny.
Jesus Christ.
Chivy's like the if we exclude him, like I exclude all episode reviewers and whatnot from the freaking anime community because they're not even reviewers. They're like blogs. They can't even name their channels right, so I don't even like consider them part of the anime community. If you exclude them, who is your most hated Anituber?
Digibro.
Yes, I knew it.
Oh,
Plot. What,
I don't
By
know.
the way, how can they even be called episodic reviewers? But most of the things they are talking about is not about the episode anymore. It's about
their
theories
Patreon.
about the future. It's about stuff that happened in previous episodes. Because
for
every
Chibi, it's him
episode
just
has
talking about
it's
like his
2
life,
or 3
isn't it?
minutes worth of content they can talk about. So they spend 20 minutes talking about irrelevant shit to the episode. They're not even episodic reviewers. They're theorists. Or they're like filler mode on talkers.
Oh yeah.
All right,
One
so-
thing I forgot to mention, that anime sub. Whenever you want, we can open the invites to everyone.
Yeah, if he doesn't want other people, we don't have to. But
Yeah.
it's just a thing.
We're already 4 too many.
Okay.
Nice.
By the way, it's off air. Why do you see off air going on?
No,
this
we're
channel? I
still
don't-
on air. We just put ourselves in here because of so I can send an invite to anyone that does it, but I'm streaming through OBS.
Okay.
That is how I do it.
Oops.
Plot. Who do you hate the most?
I mean, you obviously. but
Okay, Necro. Oh wait, I already know who that is.
Wait,
Your most hated
What?
person.
I'm not the most hated, but I am pretty much hated.
No,
Yeah.
your most favorite, your most hated Anituber. God damn it.
Oh, my most hated? Oh boy, the anime man easily.
it's not Hyrule anime.
I thought you were gonna say Hyrule.
You know, I can agree with some of the things that Hyrule says sometimes, and that's in it with an asterisk next to it. But no, it's the anime man easily.
Yeah, recently, even though he's very much made like a lot of videos on Nightcore saying how it's amazing, he's now recently saying Nightcore is not even a genre; it's just stealing, and he looks down on anyone that makes it.
Well, he's about to
Yeah.
get a big payout from some anime music company, so he's got to clear his bases first.
Well, part of that is because his best, like I told you guys in the Discord, his best friend Moe Shop used to use samples, and his album Pure Pure, he used samples and made future funk. Now he doesn't do that, and it's all synthesized, and he uses other people to pretty much just show up and do the vocals and everything like that on the album. So now the anime man can go ahead and give his opinions on Nightcore as if it's some brand new idea.
Okay, Rikafag, who's your most hated? I'm thinking it's
Uh,
Digi.
I don't really hate anyone. So, and like even Digi, like he fucking annoys me, but I don't
No, I mean,
hate
hate
him.
their content, not like them. I'm talking about their
Oh,
content.
hate the content? Probably Super Eye Patch Wolf, because everything he says is literally nothing. I hate the way he structures his videos. I hate the way he ignores writing. I hate the way that he just focuses on the visuals, which you can see, and there's nothing much else to say. I hate the way that he brings up historical elements just to say, hey, isn't that trivia interesting? And that's all he says about it, and it doesn't relate to anything. And he just keeps recommending anime and just doesn't say anything other than synopsis of it, which everyone praises for him. Like he did a video on, I don't know, Hajime no Ippo, and people were like, yeah, there's no videos on Hajime no Ippo in anime. Praise Super Eye Patch Wolf for being mainstream and getting those mainstream views by saying nothing. And it's the only guy that really annoys me because he doesn't say anything yet everyone praises for him. Like even
Yeah, by
Chibi
the way,
reviews, everyone can hate him because
Blade
he's
video was
he's a review
amazing.
guy.
By the way,
Which one?
he's the downfall of Blade's videos wasn't it his that he brought statistics explaining why?
Oh no, that was that I know that guy.
You mean the downfall of Simpsons or?
No,
that was
No,
he's
Soul.
done
it's
multiple.
That was
Super Eye Patch-
Soul.
Super Eye Patch Wolf did come out with Downfall of Bleach, where he showed where
No, that
the
was-
numbers were.
I just
Yeah, there were numbers, there were statistics. It was right.
What's it
that
called?
was
Jump,
Soul
that's a
here.
jump.
I just
The
felt
downfall of
it was
Jump?
very contradicting because of one of his points in the downfall of Bleach is talking about how he hates that the backgrounds are so empty for the fights and everything like that, and that's a detriment to the series. But then when he analyzes Dragon Ball, he says he likes how the backgrounds have nothing in the background in the fights for Dragon Ball. So that they can focus on the fight more. I was like, that's complete opposite.
Yeah.
Who is this Super Eye Patch Wolf?
Yes.
Oh, I don't watch his stuff.
Like I said, he just
nothing
focuses
interesting
on the
there.
visuals and says nothing else of interest.
I just don't like
Like
how
one
he
of
contradicts
his one of
himself.
his videos about why Dragon Balls is great, you know, the manga, is that it has how do I
The
say?
Z formation.
Yeah, it's a panel flow, which is very stupid because nearly every single manga has panel flow. That doesn't make Dragon Ball better or good. It's just like,
Are you kidding
wow,
me? Dragon Ball's the only one with panel flow.
like,
wasn't
no.
it that like you can read the panels where it goes like right to left one side and then it turns
think
and
his
goes the
point
other
was
way
him
like a
trying
No,
to
but
snake?
that's literally, every single manga does that. Like you read,
A lot
you go-
do, yeah.
A lot of them do. It's insane.
What I was
Like
trying to say is, I think
all
he
the
was
comics
trying to
do
get across that he invented that. I was pretty sure he was trying to make that claim that the
I don't know if
I
he
felt
said
the same
that,
way
but
too.
just the
He
fact
didn't
that
make
he
that
said
claim,
that
I'm
it
pretty sure.
had like panel flow is not something of praise. Like it doesn't do something revolutionary with
Yeah,
panel.
yeah.
It just
Regarding
has
that, regarding that,
No.
you have to understand something about analysts. They usually get bothered a lot when something changes along the way within the same title. For example, if it was him who complained about the backgrounds on in Bleach becoming more simple as it goes on, as an analyst, he should be bothered because at first they were far more detailed than what they were later on. They just became clouds in the background. So at first they were, just for the style. It was a rule of cool. They had no purpose being there. So when they are removed after a while, it feels awkward. It feels like, a tonal whiplash because they were there. So you have something to stare at because it was so detailed and stuff. And then they weren't not there anymore. Whereas if there was flow of movement or whatever you're gonna call it in Dragon Ball from the very first panel or the first chapter, then you have something to praise it because it was consistent in this regard. So as far as analysis goes within the same title, it's not so much as historical reasons as it is changing your own style along the way. In this particular case, being the backgrounds.
Now, what I was
Right.
trying to
That's
say
different
though,
mediums. So
what
yeah.
Calls it in Bleach, the part he was talking about was the Hueco Mundo arc, where the background was just a desert, and I was like, well, yeah, that's kind of just the setting. That is
The point is that there is nothing there.
the point of it is that there's nothing there. Like that is why Iran cars wanted to get out. That's literally why they are doing all the shit. That's why they don't want to live in Hueco Mundo. They want to live inside the human world. And it's like they literally want to escape it because it's so fucking dead. Like,
Oh, so there is an anti-escapism message in Bleach. That's so deep.
Whoa.
All right, so Snob,
Well-
I wanted to ask, what is your opinion on pause and select?
all right.
I'm not watching many of his shows to have a specific image of him in my mind. So I just call them pseudo-intellectuals. Him, Mother's Basement. Not
Pause and
I watch
select.
both that much.
Mother-
Pause and select actually references stuff, though.
Oh, I would not put Pause and Select as the same as Mother's Basement because Mother's Basement,
Oh,
in
no.
my opinion, is the worst anti-tuber out there.
Yeah, he's kind of bad. Like
He's shilling his own girlfriend.
I don't
on
even care about
Patreon.
the shilling. His content is shit.
This is he has a lot of things going on.
What's in an up, guys? Look at this 1.5 minute, which I'm gonna stretch into 50 hours of analysis. When it's
Did
just
you-
1.5 footage
So-
of the opening song, it doesn't have anything to say.
And then I'm
Did you
not
see
even
the-
going to mention the lyrics that completely contradict what I'm talking about.
Snob, did you see the video I made where it was just one of his videos that he had uploaded, except I took out everything that wasn't important? I cut half the length from the entire video.
That's like the same for most videos on YouTube.
yeah.
Oh man, Kaiser wants.
Unless it's mine. In this case, you cannot cut out anything.
Yeah, but your videos are like 4 minutes, so at that point you don't have anything to repeat.
All right, so how
I
about
actually script them and I actually put some effort in them instead of just saying, I'm just going to repeat the same thing 50 times and call it a day.
Oh man.
All right, so should we get started on the debates?
Oh boy.
I mean, there's nothing to debate.
No, we had pre-planned topics.
They're not-
We did?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys did.
plot
I
is-
don't even know the topics.
Yeah, the plot Progressor B is wanting to say My Hero Academia is good,
Oh boy.
and you were saying it's not good,
And then you,
and I wanted to
What?
debate the Naruto thing, where saying Kakashi versus Zabuza the first time was bad writing,
Again?
what?
God damn it, you're really stuck on that point.
and then
Yeah, who
We brought it up with Econ and just
Who
realized
cares
that.
about Naruto?
and Rika Fag wanted to debate Higurashi.
No,
or
no, I
talk
don't
about
really
it.
Not
want to.
this again.
No, I don't want to debate about that.
It's like he has no other topics. He's
No,
out
I don't
there,
want
he's
to.
alive.
I don't want to debate about that. I just want to. Want to talk about it for like 1 minute about the video that you made,
Oh,
not
okay.
not
Here we
the
go
not the
again.
novel. I don't want to talk about
You
it.
literally have nothing else to say over the past 2 years.
That's because it's the only thing I have to care about regarding you. I don't have anything to say to you.
I have like 1,000 videos And this is the only thing he cares about me.
Well, your videos aren't very good, so
It's because I don't care about any of your videos.
I just
What a field fag!
It-
You selfish asshole!
I mean, I am extremely selfish, but like I said, I only care about that one thing you did regarding me.
actually he's not a feel fag. He's not caring about your feelings.
that's right. He's a
I only care about my feelings about
he's the
you know,
Nietzsche.
my
Only cares
relationship.
about himself.
Selfish field fag! That's double the potential.
Hey, Snob, to be fair, I watched about 300 of your videos just like a few days ago.
Oh, are you gonna tell him about?
Snap marathon?
He's
yeah,
he's been ripping through them.
Are you gonna tell him
feel
about what you're
smart
planning
right
on
now?
doing?
Oh, should I tell him about my plan?
I'm sure he might be willing to help.
Because I wanted to get your you to voice a line at the very end for you to give a prediction on how Digibro is going to end out. Because I'm making the video that you are Digibro from the future sent back in time,
Oh,
and Chippy revealed.
has he actually? Oh wait. Snub, have you actually watched that video?
Yes,
fuck.
yes, it was funny.
Okay, good.
No,
yes.
but I feel like
It's great.
I could bring
can
so
stretch it
much
out
more
much
evidence and everything like that, and I could go like an insane amount on it.
Oh,
So
boy.
I would like you to like be in part of it at the very end to say, yes, I know how he's going to end out because I lived it before, and talking.
What? I didn't live like Digibro. You're mimicking me.
But yeah,
I know that would be awful.
you're
I never dressed in my mother's dresses and started masturbating in front of a mirror while pretending to be a little pony.
man, if that picture
Did he
ever
really
comes
do
out,
that?
Gentlemen.
because
The
apparently
truth comes out.
if that
He's
picture
not
ever
Digi-
comes out, that will be so fucking disgusting and hilarious at the same time. Because apparently
Yeah.
And
someone
I'm
took
also not wearing sunglasses in the middle of a dark room while being drunk and saying, I'm gonna do analysis now.
Jesus Christ, did you?
And I don't have a girlfriend, especially one that's just there to agree with me. Which is the same thing as if I'm masturbating in front of a mirror.
I do love that explanation he gave. Oh yeah, once I was
He literally agreed when people said that she looks like him already.
no I laughed.
People
so-
mistook him for his sister. Yeah, because
Yeah.
when people first introduced him, it's like, dude, that's not. Because they're like that. You're not dating that person.
Is
That's
it
just your
because they have
sister."
black hair? I swear to God.
No,
No,
what
they have like the
nothing
same
alike.
nose.
they have the same
No, what?
face.
Yeah, exactly.
So
What?
so like when he's
Yeah.
getting a blowjob, he just sees himself without a beard.
Okay.
But
I don't know why, but I'm just.
Imagery you never need
I mean,
to
that's
see.
what is that? Self-sex?
yeah, Necro, are you taking down the questions? Hey, if anyone's asking questions, Necro's going to be taking them down for the end.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for springing that on me. I don't have anything like to write those down on.
Notepad, motherfucker.
Yeah, I didn't have that open.
All right.
Just use like a needle and write it down on your skin.
Okay.
Well, I have a hangnail, so I can use that, right?
Oh.
That's
That's
acceptable.
good
So
enough.
what I was saying
It-
is, I just love the explanation that Digi gave on why he married her. He's like, yeah, I found her and we started clicking really fast, and she just agreed to everything I said, and I knew she was the one.
By the way, in the same video he said that, he also said perfection is boring. How is she not perfection if she's exactly like him and he considers himself the best anime YouTuber or some shit?
Because he doesn't. He knows he's shit.
No, he
Yeah,
said
he can.
he's
He kind of does.
he
know
just
he's
recently
terrible.
explained why he thinks he's the best on the stream.
No, he literally said like in a video,
Yeah,
like I think
I'm
like
the best
6 or
anime
7 months
YouTuber.
ago. No,
Fuck
before.
you.
No, I mean after that. No, after that. He
well,
did a
he's like an 8 out of-
self-review
Oh, the-
of his own
I'm an 8
videos
out of
and
10.
said that
After
all
that's
his.
contradicting himself. I wonder why he's contradicting
Yeah,
himself.
no, he's an idiot. No, but the thing is that he said that like most of his videos are like 5 or 6 out of 10, and his best video was his like
SAO videos.
no, not that one, the long one. I can't remember.
Asterisk War.
The-
That's
Yeah.
the Asterisk War, which he considers a
5.
strong 8, which is like if you've written and made videos for so many years and the only video you
Oh, yeah.
consider is an 8, you fucking failed as a writer. You fucking failed. Like he
Please
said
don't talk about being a writer. Have you read
No,
any?
I know. But like he said, he considers himself such a writer and this and that. And if you've been writing for 10 years and you like just consider yourself like mediocre for your entire run, you're fucking shit.
No, you're Kotaku.
Oof.
Well, the worst thing
Nice.
is he's barely above most people on the platform, if not below, and that's the sadder part.
Yeah, he just got big because he was talking about My Little Pony when it was a big thing back in the day. And now that he ran out of material, he jumped to anime. Now he ran out of material anymore, so he's run out of that. So
No, he's trying
now
to-
he's
trying to
just
do-
cheating on everyone.
No, now he's doing this little
he's trying-
movie thing
he's trying
like
to be a
Channel
rapper.
Awesome. No, he's turning into Channel Awesome. You know how everyone hated
Oh.
when he they wanted to do more movie stuff. And,
Oh boy.
And now he's doing like his live action skits every few days.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's on his
I haven't seen anything.
After
Is it
Dark
like-
channel.
Is that the Gecko State?
Yes,
Is that the
Oh.
thing?
Gecko State thing.
That's
Oh,
no
I
different
don't
than
give a
his
fuck about
Insomnia. That's no different than any of his older After Dark stuff.
Yeah, but he's trying to make it. He said it's supposed to be different. I don't see the difference. It's just
It's
supposed
exactly the same.
It says it's completely different.
It's because he's no longer using those pink filters.
It makes no sense. Okay, Plot. Did you want to start it off now?
No, hang on. I got a question.
It was supposed to be for after the debate.
Well, he's
Well,
here
yeah,
now.
I mean,
'cause-
my own question,
Oh,
not
okay.
like questions from the audience, because they haven't asked any questions
All right.
except for Kaiser, and he said, "Let me in." That's a question.
That's not a question.
But anyways, what are your thoughts on the Anime Man?
What are you asking?
Do you think he is absolute shit, like I probably think he is?
Oh yeah,
or
he has.
do you think that?
ThatAnimeSnob has a lot of videos on Joey.
Yes, I have lots on him, and he's the definition of a weeb who got really big.
God.
Got really big because he's not afraid to talk about cringe. And he's using basically the same methods as Gigak, but he's going way beyond cringe. And he even apologizes every time he's openly proven to be wrong. So, yeah, it's that golden formula many are using to become big by basically spreading shit. Cringe, 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 anime shits, and so am I. But look at this wonderful thing that you can do through this medium and something. So
Kinda
he's
like
like what we call a social chameleon, always adjusting to every situation, so he can always ponder everyone on both sides of an argument.
Kind of like how
Yeah.
Taki Dearest was getting big off the Vocaloid videos, and then the
Yeah, and
Vocaloid community
yeah.
called her out, and then she like shut down, never talked about Vocaloid again because they showed that she didn't know anything that she was talking about.
Nobody cares if you actually know about what you're talking about, okay? We've seen the analysis on the early episodes of My Hero Academia. Nobody knows what he's talking about. They just want to see people talking about what they like at the moment.
All
This is something you understand. Nobody cares about the validity of what they are talking about, all these pseudo-analysts or
All right,
bloggers
so
or whatever.
that's-
They just want to hear people talk positively and like it's amazing, that thing that the FUD of the week is like the most amazing thing ever. They don't care about what they are actually talking about. They just want to see people talk positively about it. It's like it's that anime girl who's been talking about Dragon Ball and she has that cute avatar and she never shows her real face and some shit. Nobody cares about whatever she's talking about is real. They just want to have somebody talking about, whoa, Dragon Ball is so amazing. So you have to understand this. It's all about somebody giving you a blowjob over the internet. That's basically, it's cyber sex at this point.
Gonna talk about how strong Goku is.
Yeah, and
Power scheme.
Jiren's a really deep character. It's gonna get character development. Oh my god, it's a theory and it's never speculated.
And Jiren flexed his muscles, so now he's stronger than time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did you?
There is one video, and I do remember it was from Snob, and it was about My Hero Academia, and it's about all of the different like anime YouTubers, all of these different people stating how My Hero Academia does something new or it does something original, but it's not any different than any other story that we've ever heard before.
Yeah. Oh, you keep memeing like one thing. It's like this show is a deconstruction of every blah blah blah.
Well, it was like the people were saying, well, this is a show that shows these heroes going through not just their own physical struggles, but their mental ones as well.
Of not getting what they want.
I mean, not that they aren't, but that's not new.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like that was in Snob's video, and I was like, oh, makes sense to
What are
me.
you talking about? This is the very first shonen ever.
This is right.
It's actually there's been no other anime before this.
Yeah, this is another thing. Everyone assumes that whoever is watching one show is gonna be his first show. Is like, yeah, there is no such thing as watching 10 series before the most popular thing at the moment. So everyone is treated like this is the very first show I ever watched, and it's amazing because there's nothing else to compare it with. And especially when it comes to My Hero Academia, we used to have this thing called the Big Three, where we could compare one show with the other two every week, depending on whatever chapter or episode was coming out.
Yeah.
But we can't do that with My Hero Academia. It has monopolized fighting shonen of today
But
because there is no
What about
competition.
Dragon Ball? Yeah, but what about Dragon Ball? You know,
What about
cares
Dragon Ball?
about Dragon
Nobody could compare Dragon Ball with My Hero Academia.
I don't know.
Nobody-
I know a
I don't know,
couple of people
Dragon
that
Ball's
would
far
definitely
worse than My
compare
Hero.
Dragon Ball with everything.
But power scaling. Is
Oh,
that what you
God.
mean?
The program.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
they were just talking about the references within the same show with Dragon Ball reference to this
Wait a minute.
and Dragon Ball
What do you think about
in
power
joke
scaling?
to that. Nobody was comparing Dragon Ball with My Hero Academia. Nobody was pretending to be better written or better animated. Nothing. It was just literally the references. It was just nostalgia trip at this point. So there was no competition. There is no other shonen to compete with My Hero Academia. I mean, I know what you say. What about Seven Deadly Sins? Seven
What?
Deadly Sins is straightforward. There's nothing to talk about.
Seven Deadly Sins is terrible.
That's not true. How else does Anime Uproar and Taku make 1,000 videos on Seven Deadly Sins?
I don't know. I didn't even know that existed.
I don't watch either of them, so
The fuck is this? Is this like Fairy Tales and Dragon Balls?
It's like Fairy
Like, one
Tale,
piece together?
but more.
What the fuck?
It's like no, not really like Fairy Tale. It's more. It's like if every character is overpowered and extremely ecchi.
Wow, holy shit! Yeah, I'm not even. Ugh. I'm too fucking old for shonen.
Not trying to
Jesus.
have a deep message. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, it's
Older shows did not try to promote an agenda. Newer shows do that, and this is why many think they are so deep. But the Seven Deadly Sins is like something out of the 80s or the 90s, where there were
It's
just
very
straightforward action.
I mean, what do you
think-
mean by agenda? Can you give
Yeah,
an
I
example?
completely disagree on that. I think just about everything either represents the time period it was in, which shows an agenda of some kind, whether it's intentional or not.
yeah. That's why we see so many SJW movies now. There's all these feminist agendas.
No, but can you
Ugh.
give an example about an agenda in recent anime?
Yeah.
Well, My Hero Academia is trying to promote the whole idea of what is heroism and what it's supposed to have.
That's not an
to do.
agenda. That's been a thing that's been going on since like the dawn of time. You got like
It's
Aristotle
themes.
and Plato
Stop
arguing
talking
about stuff like
heroism
that.
in shonen.
I mean, that's
Yeah, but
always
that's not really an agenda. That's more altruistic, altruistic heroism, which is the same shit.
I don't think like Hunter x Hunter tries to talk about what heroism is.
It kind of does.
So I wouldn't
but-
really
Yeah.
say all shonen, battle shonen talk about heroism.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
the thing
undertones.
the thing is that with newer shows, all the characters are so emotional about the theme that it comes off as if you have to talk about the theme. Whereas in older series, they didn't really got all the crybabies and like, oh, it's all about this, it's all about that. No, it was all about it's this, and if you don't care about it, whatever. Let's go back to the fighting or some shit.
That's why I like
What?
this
It was a lot
North
more-
Star.
So wait, you liked it better when it was only just fighting, and
They were
rather
not
than like
crying all the time. They were not becoming
better when
edgy
people
towards
don't
us
try.
all the time.
You
Okay,
said crying, not trying.
oh,
trying. Yeah, yeah. That's the difference. Older shonen characters were alpha males. Okay.
Yeah.
They were brutes. They were secure in their positions. Yes, they were following ideals, and so did the villains.
He
But they
liked
were
it
not
better
having
when
these
it-
ridiculous breakdowns every 3 seconds. Okay, this is stupid. They don't know what they're doing.
I still-
How are you sure what you're doing?
I still love Fist of the North Star. I still say
It-
it's better than a
so
lot of anime
that's-
I watched recently.
that's what Snob wants. He just wants Fist of the North Star. just more fist.
No, that's a bad
Well,
thing.
I tried watching the CGI that they're airing right now. It's horrible because it's CGI, but also because the setting doesn't accept this sort of mentality which was in the original post-apocalyptic setting. You cannot do the same brain-dead dudes punching each other when you have like a civilized setting. And you say, well, there's a lot of criminal activity. Who cares? It's civilized. You have buildings, you have water, you have toilets. You didn't have that in the original. There's a big difference between being a brute in a world where it's kill or be killed and some guy, what is it? Some guy a little bit before the World War. It's not the same thing. It's CGI. Blah.
Okay,
So, no.
your biggest fan wants in. Do you want me to bring him in?
Oh boy.
Stitch, bro?
No. I'm sending an invite.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god. I don't know if this is a good or bad idea.
Anyway.
But we'll see.
Anyways, as far as this topic or whatever we can call it about My Hero Academia versus Naruto goes, Naruto had the other two of the big three to be compared to every week. There is no comparison with My Hero Academia, and if we assume everyone's watching it right now and they've watched every other show in the past, yes, it is amazing because it's pandering Western fads right now, which is like superheroics, Marvel movies. Whereas there is nothing else doing anything similar like it currently airing. So you can see why most people think it's amazing because there's nothing else that's currently like it.
But that doesn't make the show bad. You're just saying, hey, look, people like it.
Okay.
What's your point? You've proven nothing about the quality of the show. You're just saying, hey, look, it captures fads that are currently going, but that doesn't mean the show's bad because it appeals to common things that people
Yeah,
like
I'm just
right now.
saying it's easier to get away with it because people have nothing else to compare it to currently airing. Of
Oh, I
course,
mean,
you compare it with finished shows from the past, but who's gonna do that when everyone's watching episodics and seasonals and then forget everything that was airing the previous season?
I think you
Yeah.
said before there was like a drug or something, right? Like,
It's drug. It's like instant gratification.
Dopamine.
It goes away in 2 hours.
Dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin.
Yeah, all that stuff. It's
yeah,
about
I mean, you can
people
just
growing
jerk off
up
and get all
with
the
cell phones
serotonin.
and the internet, always getting their answers or whatever they want in seconds, and
Yeah.
they get spoiled and self-entitled and call themselves millennials. Yeah, I fucking hate you all.
What makes you say I'm a
You're welcome.
millennial?
The
I hate
pleasures
myself
of growing
too.
You're all millennials. And I'm better than all of you because I'm not a millennial.
I'm not
You know,
like 20 something.
How old are you?
Snob's like 40.
Older than you.
Really?
And smarter
I
than
mean,
you.
that's for sure. Yeah, I know. I know you're older than me. I'm just curious.
I'm 6. I'm not a millennial. I'm too young to be a millennial.
I mean, I'm kind of.
So you're a
I mean,
Gen,
I'm
you're
63, so.
Yeah,
Gen Z.
talking about all this, we even have a debate about what exactly counts as a millennial or when do millennial generations begin exactly which year. And I don't see it like which year when you're
2000?
born. It's how you grew up with. So
Yeah.
I mean-
I believe that millennials is anyone who grew up with the
Well,
internet. That's how
I think
see it.
also another thing is that a lot of the problems you might see with a lot of millennials when they watch anime and just in general anything related to them is that the baby boomers probably were coddled them basically.
Yeah, and what do you mean by grew up with the internet? Because, like, let's see.
Okay,
I know I
The
didn't have.
internet wasn't fast or widespread up until what, the early 2000s in most countries. In mine, it was even further than that.
I mean,
So even if you had the internet before that, as a kid, as a teenager, growing up, being affected by the whole mentality of I can find whatever I want as an answer.
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
I think
When
that
I
started
was-
back in 2010-ish.
Yeah.
So
When I was using the internet back in my day, I was just searching up fucking Gundam facts back in fucking
See.
on the internet. When back in the day when I didn't even know what a wiki was, I was using what is it called, like
Wiki.
Mecha Anime HQ or some shit.
I don't know, but
I'm basically saying that anyone who grew up with the internet, fast internet line, and perhaps has a smartphone, so he can have an internet even when he's outside, is a millennial who is without even him realizing it, he's affected by the whole technology makes you spoiled and
See.
self-entitled.
so
That's how
Here's
I
the
define
question.
a millennial.
what, am
But
I
it's
a
hard.
millennial
Oh,
because I was
Right.
born late
I have a
90s?
I
I
have a
didn't
question.
have access to like the internet regularly through like a laptop or anything like that until like high school, and I didn't get a smartphone until earlier this year.
I've got a question for Snob. Are you talking about this because of your recent video where I remember in your quotes, you had these little quotes about
By the way,
The
this is your
MC is like-
number one fan.
Yeah, the MC is so strong he can steamroll everybody, but he's treated as talentless or something.
That's a very old concept. It didn't really begin with millennials. I don't see the
Well, I mean, are
connection
you
what
in
I'm
the
talking
mood
about.
because-
You're the one who made the video. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Yes, but
I mean,
I
I'm
don't
just
see the
saying.
connection with what I was talking about.
Well, I mean, are you in the mood because you just happened to have made that video just to start
Not
talking
really.
about millennials?
I made 2 videos ever since. I'm no longer in that mood, okay?
Okay.
So,
I didn't even understand that the point of that video because you complain about millennials, but you're talking about a concept that's been around forever and shown in shows.
yes, it's been
Well, I
around
mean,
forever.
it really
It became an
depends.
epidemic
I mean, back in the-
recently.
Much to any generation.
At least
that-
back
as
in
it
the
does
day, right?
millennials.
Back in the day, at least with a lot of shonen anime, there was at least actual training going on, not this typical shit that you'd see Saitama, like the fucking training Saitama does. It just blows a lot. Is about the same kind of
They are
training.
skipping all. Yes, it's true that they are skipping most of the training, most of the build-up. They all became overpowered, or they are underdogs who have secret powers and are underpowered. That's the thing, okay? When you're watching Fist of the North Star, the guy is like in the top 10 strongest guys since episode 1. Okay, we already know that.
Yeah.
He doesn't really train. Okay, he does improve later on, but he doesn't really train. But he doesn't have to prove anything. He's the strongest, and he's doing it because, well, if the power, I might as well use it. That's as simple as it goes.
He's not
There's
plastered.
nothing-
He's not having the whole world plaster him with the idea that this is an underdog. He's not an underdog.
Yes. And even you watch Samurai X, or whatever you call it, Rurouni Kenshin. The guy already begins episode 1. He's again the strongest guys in the whole world. He has an ideology because it's the 90s, and we gotta have something more than just powers. He still doesn't try to impose his way of life. He's just sitting back, and when something happens, he joins in to stop it. But this doesn't mean like he's trying to.
Well, I mean,
force.
another thing is just it also feels like it's insulting your intelligence when they say, he's an underdog when you know he's not.
Yes, but he never tried to present himself as an underdog. That's what I'm trying to say.
the
Since
worst-
episode 1.
That's exactly
The
the
worst
problem.
offender of this idea that I've seen was that the irregular at Magic High School or something like that.
That fully
That
shit.
show was that was some next
I
level.
don't always agree
how
with
much they had hyped it from the light novels because it had 50 pages of info dumps explaining the magic. Thus, it makes sense and it's very smart show.
I fell asleep.
I don't always agree with Snob, but I'll say this: when it comes to light novel battle harems, you know your shit.
Yeah.
They're so bad.
It's so bad. By the way, everybody was saying, "Wow, he's overpowered. He just defeats everyone." I mean, how is this interesting? And there were literally many people who read the light novels and said, he's not really overpowered because in 50 light novel volumes later on, there are going to be 10 others going to be as powerful as him. So see, he's not overpowered.
This was
He's overpowered up until those light novels come up.
This is the thing. I've watched over 700 anime, and the only things I've ever dropped are light novel battle harems.
Oh.
Which, by the way, they have their own audience, and they became a thing thanks to Haruhi. Let's not forget this.
Well, I mean,
fact,
that's
Haruhi is
harems
a
in general, but we're talking specifically the battle harem genre, where it's like fucking magic and fighting and all that shit, which are terrible to begin with, even when it comes to the fighting.
It's like Kirito kind of characters.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's even worse in some cases because it's like they try to build tension, they try to make him seem weak, but then you find out, he already has a special fucking thing he was born with.
I remember the last one I watched, I was like, this is literally trying to be a copy of Kirito. That just makes it worse.
Dude, here's the thing. Chivalry of a Failed Knight. Everybody was trying to talk about how great that show was, how it's different. The only thing different is that the romance just happens right there. They're fucking dating already. Everything else is garbage, okay? If you read the light novels, pretty much he's stronger than everybody except for the strongest swords person in the world.
Do you really think I read the light novels?
No, I'm just saying for sure.
Yeah.
Like people
we have to stick a bit on the fact that they call it this is different. When they say different, most actually mean one little tiny difference.
Yeah, one tiny difference, and they think the whole thing changes.
Reconstruction of the whole genre or something. No, it's not really like that.
The formula is still the same.
Different. 90% of the time, they mean it has one tiny little difference than the norm. What is like the golden formula, the golden standards everyone's copying. But this doesn't make the show different as a whole. It's just
And they don't. Another thing is they don't even meet those standards. They pretend they're meeting them, but they're fucking garbage.
Yeah, it's all superficial and pretentious eventually. And a recent example, which I kept on hearing about regarding when they kidnapped Bakugo in My Hero Academia, they said, "Oh no, now he's gonna become another Sasuke." They were talking about it a lot. And then everyone was defending, saying, "No, he's not gonna become another Sasuke because this is not another Naruto. It's a much better show." And it's like, see how different it is because it's not copying Naruto all the time.
Oh boy, all the time. But so there's times that it is copying it.
People think anime's so different, but all of it's animated. How can it be different?
And by the way, by different, by not becoming Sasuke, they basically meant we're going back to the status quo, guys. It's different because it stays the same. Ta-da!
No.
So yeah,
but your standard it could never be different when you say it like that.
Yeah.
Because you're saying, it's either it does do something and it's still the same because
the
it's just
word
like
different loses its meaning and you shouldn't be using it.
you're the one who used it.
I didn't. I just used an example. It's saying that doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
I'm not the one using it. I'm the one mentioning it, of those using it. It's different because it stays the same. I'm not the one saying that. It's them. The fucking retards who like it.
Chibbits.
Yeah.
And yes, retards is an insult right now. It's not a mental condition. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
So
Stop
this-
destroying
yeah.
the meaning
So
behind
again,
everything.
This straight,
agree. I
we
think
don't
you're all
care
retarded.
what you say. You
We don't care.
you
You
can
could
just call Necro a nigger. We don't care.
I didn't even think he was black.
Yeah.
I am.
You can call me a chink. You can call me a nigger too, because I'm part chink and prairie nigger, so I'm part Indian and part Chinese.
You don't have to hold back.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Excellent. This is how it was back in my days.
You know, yeah. Basically, if you wanted to, you could be like this guy called Naked Ape, who was in a debate talking about niggers having nigger babies.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we're not worried about offending people.
Then what's the point of this life?
No, you're supposed to. Their goal is to offend at least 10 people.
All right.
No, our goal is to offend Mother's Basement so hard that he completely ignores us.
Oh my goodness! Have
Well,
you guys
he
seen?
ignores us.
I think that's easy enough. You have to try to get him to try to delete your channel.
No.
Yeah, have you seen the stuff that Mother's Basement complains about
Oh
on
boy.
Twitter?
yeah.
He
I mean, he
gets
complains
upset just about everything that you'd expect someone who watches like reactionary news stuff on TV for.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was hilarious when he was pinging at Keemstar so much, saying, "We need you to change your thing to no longer be Mom's Basement. It might affect the views of my channel and might hide our channel from people trying to find it." And and then it's like he completely
as if it wouldn't actually bring him more views for some guy who's
I think
2 million.
maybe if you wanted to offend somebody here, maybe you could insult one of Necro's waifus, the ones that he has on his channel.
Necro has waifus?
Well, you've seen those videos where he's apparently has this entire building a harem full of his OC.
Oh my god, he's one of those fuckers.
People who actually, I can't stand people who meme waifu stuff.
I don't mean wife.
He
I
doesn't
can't stand
meme
it.
He's serious.
No, he's
know.
not. They have like 50
worse.
fucking
I can't-
waifus, and you don't care for any of them. That's
I
stupid.
can't stand it when people actually do get in debates about waifus in anime and they actually try to take it seriously.
I know.
That's
Everyone knows Kurumi is the best.
Oh my goodness!
No, see, that's impossible, man.
Toki-
She's a bitch.
Gosh, what
Toki
the
Well,
wedding
But
is
I
constant.
agree with you as well. A good thing about retro shows is that they always said one chick. Okay, there was only one chick, and she was already in love with the protagonist. Therefore, there was no point in having waifu wars because there was nothing to debate
It's
about
all
it.
because of
I mean,
Neon
waifu
Genesis.
wars-
One chick doing nothing.
Fucking
Like,
Evangelion.
No, you see, this is when it starts to become different because Evangelion made it popular to have at least 3 or 4 of them. Before that, it wasn't that much.
That's what I was
Wasn't
saying.
it? Wasn't
They
it?
fucking
Didn't no. Wait.
changed
What about Tenchi Muyo? Wasn't it the kind of the starter for all
Yes,
that
that
shit?
was like the original harem, okay? The original harem. Of course, it has one of them more, but it did become a thing up until, Neon Genesis.
Okay, and up until every show kind of started doing that shit, regardless of genre.
I think the best
Yes. I
harem.
mean, you had lots of harems in the 80s, but I'm not talking about, harems. I'm talking about Battle Shonen, which happened to also have a harem, that sort of thing. I'm not really talking about.
That's a lot of
harems
shows
by
now.
default,
What are you talking
need to
about?
have at least 3 or 4 of them.
The best battle shonen harem would be Bible Black.
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
Mikens, why do you always come back to this?
God damn. He just wants to meme it to death. We all have something that we want to meme to death, and I think Bible Black is his thing.
That anime snob. You know,
For
we,
his
we,
voice, yeah.
Get Greek satanic words, please. It's pondering my deepest desires when I hear that.
it's funny
yeah.
because we finally got the meme on the podcast. We've talked
Oh
about
yeah, that's
that
actually
anime
that's
snob.
so it's not even a meme anymore.
Yeah, we've talked.
Now we can show off our voices to him.
We've been we've been talking about getting Snob into the live stream every fucking stream, and now we finally did it.
Now 200 people are gonna listen to it. Be very happy about it.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You're very magnanimous there, Mr. Snob.
What makes you think
People
I'm
will
doing it
come
for
based
other
off of
people?
this.
I'm doing it for myself.
It's a snob who only gets like 1,000, so it's still like.
Oh man. Yeah, I had this, this guy called Senpai or whatever, Senpeezy. Yeah, he had this fucking meme on his channel or whatever, right? That was of Snob dancing around without a shirt on, and I was looking forever for that shit, and I finally actually found it.
Oh, where is that? I couldn't find it. I haven't seen it yet. Even on
Dude,
the
I forgot.
300
I had to do a lot of reverse searching and looking on somebody on Reddit.
Thanks for the
told me the
views.
name. Well, no, I couldn't even find it on your fucking channel because it was on the old channel, but that's dead. So I had to find a re-upload somewhere where somebody actually re-uploaded it. And it was it was that weird song. I never knew what the fuck that song was. It sounded like that chicken dance song. Yeah. And somebody told me
Listen, those are all taken from Greek songs, the opening references or whatever you can call them, which are taken from Turkish songs, which are taken from Hindu songs, which are basically some sort of a
So basically,
knockoff of American
basically everything in life is always a ripoff of something else.
That's what.
So there's no originality.
If you
So
learned
basically,
anything
cultural
from
appropriation.
no, if you learned anything from Disney, there's no such thing as originality. I haven't seen a single one of their movies that are original. They're almost always taken from something else, or always.
They're
taken-
just basically the same story with the different color paint.
yeah.
No, they're not all the same story, but they do take.
No, he's talking about
all
the
their
same
stuff from other
story of
things.
something else. They're
Like,
Oh yeah.
I've never seen a Disney movie or anything that is original. They're always taken from something else.
yeah.
I was gonna say, well, Wally is a bit different, but it's still a lot like 2001 in some
Actually, no.
ways.
Wall-E follows the same
Wally was
concept as
taken
Up.
No, Wally
Even
was
Up
taken.
is the exact same structure as
Yeah.
Wall-E.
Wally was taken from fucking Short Circuit. Okay, there's no way he wasn't based on Johnny Number 5.
And whatchamacallit?
It's of the
The Lion
the
King
Nintendo?
was taken by two things: Kimba the Lion
What, Leo?
mixed with Hamlet.
Ooh.
Hamlet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, Black Panther
And-
is just
Damn it, I was about to say
the
that.
Lion King.
Fucking Black Panther is the Black Lion King. What?
No, Black Panther is just the Lion King
Oh, okay.
all over
Well, I
again.
mean, the Lion King didn't have a supposed prosperous nation that has rich because they have some great resource, yet they never trade in that fucking resource.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that's right.
It's called
No,
Pride
they
Rock.
don't.
Because Viradium does shit, man. It's the magic metal which so many shows are using as a cop out.
Even
to
Pride.
explain it.
It doesn't matter if they have this one special metal that can be used for all the scientific stuff if they can't grow crops.
No, they just.
They only have
Crops
so
are
much
big.
land.
No,
They just
no.
use the metal to
Yeah,
grow crops.
Damn it!
It's awesome.
I was about
That's
to
how
say,
it works.
Plot,
They
Yeah.
grow crops.
That metal can do literally anything.
You
Just
can
stop,
plant
don't
the
think about it.
metal. Plant the metal.
Yeah, but you only have so much space.
Well then.
No. They have like unlimited space.
Yeah,
They
because
have
the rock also does that.
dimensional crops.
I know they're not
Yeah.
following the comics, but in the comics, at least Wakanda was an actual country, and it pretty much looked like that the whole time. They didn't really focus too much on the scientific progress they used to have. So the movie has this problem of, they're trying to stuff too much in one city, whereas in the comics it was an actual big country somewhere in Africa.
No, man. They just have lots of underground tunnels.
Yeah,
They
all right.
Gurren
As soon
Lagann
as
it.
like,
Oh,
all
boy.
right, when I got to the end,
Gurren Lagann, the hood edition.
Wow, the strong end was coming out. Okay.
What about nigger?
when I got to the end of the Black Panther movie, I immediately made the joke. So what? Because they end it with him saying, "Yeah."
Well, I mean, if I said Black Panther nigga edition, it would have been too redundant.
Oh my god.
But at the end of Black Panther, the guy like announces that their country is actually like super wealthy and advanced. And I was like, wait till they find out next week that the country next to them was also super wealthy and advanced, and they'd also had an even better cloaking device.
Oh no! And then you find out that all of Africa is actually rich.
Is that your point?
Africa is actually the richest country in the world.
And
Yeah, you know what? You want to know what?
they've all been faking it this whole time. All third world countries are actually far more prosperous than first world countries.
For Snob, I have a question. What's your opinion on the Ruby fan base?
Oh, Fat Man Falling.
Stop.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say here because I'm not following the fandom. I was watching the show. I'm not following the fandom, but it's chicks doing fighting. There's nothing else to talk about. I'm not really looking.
Fat Man Falling had a lot to talk about. How it fucks up.
Yeah, you should check out Fat Man Falling.
How it fucks up on almost every conceivable level.
What are we talking about?
Ruby.
Are we talking about the fandom or the show right now?
The show, and then easy peasy. I know he talks about the fandom, the fucking cringe in the fandom.
And also Manga Common made a video on the fandom, I think.
I mean, if we're talking toxic fandoms, we all know the worst one is Steven Universe.
Yeah.
I only follow the anime fandom. I'm not following cartoon fandoms like Steven Universe or Ruby or whatever. So I do not know what's going on there.
But Ruby is talked about by so many weebs. Well, how can you not know?
It's not anime.
Ruby has some of the worst voice acting I've ever seen.
Ruby is the only one. I usually say cartoon YouTubers and Anitubers, but people
Ruby-tubers?
I literally say Ruby tubers because that's when people do videos about Ruby. That's all they do it about. There's literally channels like I've seen like 20 channels dedicated to nothing but Ruby.
Speaking of Fat Man Falling, I like this one video where he was literally just going on about if you can't find a good plot or find a good anything, just put lesbians in the fucking thing and people eat it up.
Oh my goodness, that's
no, that's not how it goes. When you're stuck, you just introduce more characters. It's the
but make them lesbian characters. There you go. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, you do both. You introduce
Super did
two
that.
lesbian characters. There you
just
go.
introduce more
You can always
characters. It's the
introduce more
Bleach way.
characters who are lesbians, but then you're just going too far.
That's Dragon Ball Super did that.
Like basically, it's like for example, ER when he made that video about fucking Life is Strange or Life is Tumblr.
Oh my goodness,
Like what was the fucking point of them being lesbians?
It's not even a point in the
everyone
the
can
game
just
itself. It's like
use as a
50.
counter argument. What's the point of the other guys being heterosexuals?
Yeah, I mean, what's the point of doing anything?
Well, I can tell you there's a huge point in them being heterosexual. Like, the survival of the human race.
Oh yeah, with the people
Cloning.
did you guys
Next
see this
I
stuff
got
for
a
How
much
to Train Your
bigger-
Dragon on that?
Okay, fine. I got a much bigger answer to that. It's fucking
boy.
gay.
Oh
Okay.
man, it's gay.
Heterosexual's pretty fucking gay.
Whatever.
Okay, it's we all know it's just for the reaction, right?
Yeah, we all know Necro is
oh man, they actually dared to do that. But nowadays everyone does it, so it's just another thing. It doesn't mean anything.
We all know that.
Speaking of gay, it's
We all know
Pride Month.
Necro's gay. Yeah, we know Necro's secretly gay.
Yeah.
See,
We know that Necro is secretly like Digibro. He wants to become a cute magical girl, so he can be gays with his OCs and stuff.
Be gay with my if my OC is a woman and I'm a guy, how would that be gay?
You want to be a magical girl.
No.
A girl, I didn't say guy.
And you want to have feet in your mouth.
Oh yeah.
Wait, where did the feet come from?
It came from Hyrule Anime.
Oh my god! Oh yeah, that's the foot. I forgot he drew that for me, but He hasn't drawn that revised version of it yet with that new tablet he
So,
has.
Snob, what do you think about people trying to insult you
Actually,
by drawing you
I don't
fan
think.
art
I don't think.
and
He's
then a
prob- I don't
foot in
think.
your mouth?
Actually, to be honest, I don't think he's ever probably going to draw that revised thing because
That's probably the
he's,
best he could do.
could be that.
Probably
Could be
I
that.
think I would see it.
Yeah. But at the
It's
same
Pride
time,
Month,
he's
so-
going. Apparently, he's going through some pretty fucking hectic shit. He's got the same disease his mother has. Apparently, something with his fucking face. Oh yeah,
Fucking
he's gonna.
ugliness.
Well, I forgot what he called it. It was something where your cheeks look all rosy or some shit, but it's killing your fucking cells or something.
Oh, I think
Pleasant.
I heard about that.
Sunburn.
I don't think he's worried about revising a fucking picture of you with your foot in your mouth, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, he said that he was going to draw me one. He himself told me that.
Yeah,
Maybe if you donate to his PayPal.
I think that one video on him is enough. Like it fucking like got him like, dude, like he hasn't said anything about your content, has he, Necro? He hasn't said that your that your content is shit and his content is the epitome of a masterpiece that you should fucking strive to be.
All right. So we have yet to actually debate anything.
Okay, fine. Plot. You could start it. I said.
Well, I want to.
Also,
I
it's
want to know
late,
what
so
he.
I'm going to go ahead and go.
I want to know his
All right,
problems
fine,
with this
Necro.
show so I can defend them.
Say what?
I want to know Snob's opinions or reasons why he dislikes it so I can defend them because
Dislikes what?
My Hero.
Oh, okay. Necro left. Oh god.
Yeah, he said he was.
Yay!
I told.
good riddance.
So it's not.
Okay.
We can finally
my
talk about him
problem with
behind his back.
My problem with My Hero Academia is that they overhype it at the end.
So
That's
basically, who are you talking about? Are you talking about the anime overhypes everything or the YouTubers?
Everyone.
The anime's been pretentious, and anyone talking about the anime is being double as pretentious by making it seem like it's better than what it actually is.
So
And
you wouldn't
then-
have as much of a problem if people weren't fucking overhyping it.
And it's
right?
and it's a
That
triple
doesn't
That's
even make
pretentious.
this. If it was ignored, yes, I wouldn't have that much of a problem. But I would
Because
still
then
have a
you-
problem
then you wouldn't have to
because
pay
the show
attention to it.
itself is constantly contradicting itself.
What are you-
I've made a series of videos. Don't make me repeat myself.
Yeah, I couldn't
mentioned-
even find most of them. I think they were on your deleted channel.
No.
No, by now I have re-uploaded almost everything. You can easily find them. You just didn't watch it.
I couldn't find anything past like episode 30.
No. Whatchamacallit?
No, not episodic. Truths.
Yeah, you. It's
The truth
on
ones
his-
aren't necessarily for My Hero. It's just
No, there is
normal
some. You can look
yeah,
in the
this is an
playlist.
exception.
He has-
It's an exception. My Hero
Actually,
is so
you know
bad.
what? You know one.
My
vid-
Hero Academia is so bad. It has its own series of truth videos dedicated just for itself.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did some. He also did some specifically, I think, episodic impressions on it or whatever.
Yeah, I make the episodic and then I expand on them by
Yeah,
usually making
and
a truth
almost
video.
all the ones that I've seen are just you saying this is the most original show where you're making fun of it.
You didn't watch enough. Okay, here are the basic ones I'm watching now with my list. First, it's Destiny, because yes, My Hero Academia has Destiny despite not having any prophecies. First episode. This is how I became the best hero. Holy shit, you're telling me how the story is gonna end. I hate you
So
already.
what? How?
No, I hate it. I don't want to know how it's gonna end by the series itself. I'm
Do you hate Gurren Lagann?
No. In before that was just Deku being a pretentious prick.
No.
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
It's
Like,
very clear.
Imagine if we get to that point where he's narrating his fucking life, but it turns out he's a fucking bum on just some fucking.
You
bum
are
loser.
speculating.
Yeah, I'm speculating for the hell of it because I want to see
Openly
that shit
states
happen.
100% this is it. If it's not gonna be true, then you're just speculating right now because it hasn't happened yet.
What do you think of Gurren Lagann then?
Yeah, but it's a joke.
Gurren Lagann does the
It's
same
not a
thing
joke.
with
It's not a
Simon.
joke.
That's what I'm
It's not a
saying.
defense against the
So
show.
Simon being the
The show
narrator.
itself is telling you what's gonna happen at the
I
end.
never
It's
said it
terrible.
was the defense of the show.
Gurren Lagann tells you what
It's a bad
happens
joke.
when you're like 3/4 of the way through.
No,
Very
it tells you
beginning.
at the very beginning, the very first fucking episode. It tells you what the ending is, even though the
Yeah.
ending's wrong. But
Oh yes.
Yeah, it tells you. It never even goes anywhere with that shit. It's just like the fuck was the point of that? It's just
no,
to
it's
hook you
because
into
they
the
had
fucking
different
show.
plans and they had some changes and directing changes and stuff like that happened with Gurren Lagann.
Mm-hmm.
So it became
Yep.
completely different on what they were trying to do.
I don't know. That could just be a fucking cop out, man. Just an excuse.
No, that
Alright.
They just wanted to hook you in, man. And it's gonna hype it up.
If they wanted to hype it up and hook you in, they would have done what the original. They would have done how it ended, because what you see is about a mech as big as a planet in the fucking thing. This mech is fucking bigger than the fucking universe.
No,
Guys,
no.
If there is something Gurren Lagann did best, it's making a joke out of spectacle creep, because there's nothing that can top that from here on.
Wait, spectacle what?
He means
Spectacle creep.
I thought you were
It
saying.
means things
I've heard of
getting
power.
more
I've heard of
explosive
power
and more bombastic.
Oh,
I've heard of power creep, but I've never heard of spectacle
he
creep.
just
Yeah,
explained
it's a
it.
term. It's a term.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So basically, Gurren Lagann is the ultimate example of spectacle creep, but it wasn't trying to be serious about it. It's a joke, basically, on it. And there's nothing that can
That's the
top
thing
it.
about a lot
And
of
no matter
shows.
what you're going to say, you can always say, well, Gurren Lagann did that.
That's the thing about a lot of
Say
shows.
that
They
whatever
take
whatever
themselves too
happens in
seriously.
Dragon Ball in later arcs, well, you're never going to have a mecha bigger than the freaking universe.
No. Gurren Lagann is just a power scaling creep.
yeah, but all right.
That's
To
not,
get back,
another thing is that's kind of like just a lot of animes these days. They take themselves a little too seriously a lot of times.
Hey, Snob.
No. It's a bit deeper than that. They are not serious, and that they take themselves seriously without having the means to defend themselves. Whereas older shows, which were not trying to be overcomplicating, and they were not trying to be, deep or whatever, and they were not trying to promote the agenda that much, it wasn't coming off as bad.
Dude,
I mean,
one of
They-
the
listen. In Rurouni Kenshin, I always dislike the whole mentality of the pacifist. It's like, I hate pacifist characters. The whole concept is ridiculous, but it wasn't coming off as pretentious there.
one of the fucking videos the anime man made about a manga was called a Uragi So no Unisan. Dude, straight up the guy
You cut off. Hello?
time.
Wait, did I cut off for a second?
It's so fucking stupid.
so who cares? Yeah.
Like why are you trying to be this fucking they tried to say this stupid shit like you when will people stop writing stuff that's like fucking just like that? Because it's like, what if you got a villain, right, who's a woman?
What's what? Oh,
No, he's never gonna do shit.
There we go.
It's like-
My
No,
internet.
you said he said he
Now
won't
I'm back.
slap her.
Heal or hurt.
He won't even do anything.
No. Well, then you just throw her out of the house. You just take her by the fucking hair and just throw her out of the house. You fucking.
He doesn't even want to.
First of all, that's sexist.
Either.
First
No,
things
that's
first, that's sexist. You're
No, that's
discriminating
realistic. I would
against
do that with
women.
a guy.
Yeah,
if
but
they
why
had
is
long
it wrong to be sexist?
yeah. What's wrong with
In
that?
this case, it's wrong because you're gonna let your entire family die because you're being a fucking idiot. But second of all, you shouldn't be discriminating against anyone when it
Well,
comes
yeah.
to helping your friends. And I have a very good example.
Sorry, I don't know what the
One of
conversation
the
is.
most
Basically-
famous,
I kind
one of the
of.
most famous
Yeah.
edgelords of the 90s in the West was Dreitzdo Erden, the dark elf with the scimitars. You probably know him. And he had made an oath never to kill another dark elf after he escaped his homeland. But in a later book, he is forced to fight another dark elf, and yes, he kills it because he had to because he was going to kill his friends. So then he renews his oath and says, "I will never going to kill another dark elf unless I have to help someone I love." So yeah, he's sort
Yeah,
of like
basically a lot of these animes.
I
but
think
then
I've
he
seen this in
updated
a
it.
hentai before.
A lot of these fucking animes will like put them in these situations where it's like they have like a job or something to do, but they show these fucking like they're in like, especially like light novel battle hymns. There's always like, you're supposed to be fighting to save the world or some shit, right? So why are you showing a bias? That the woman right there, you're fighting a woman, a female villain. She's a villain, so beat the shit out of her like you just did that other guy.
Yeah, that's true. Which is also why I don't like the whole pacifist mentality, because eventually you have to fight the other guy. You cannot have peace unless you defeat in battle or in war everyone who wants war.
Yeah,
So
you just show her what sexual dimorphism is.
Like basically, just every time if you have any kind of like authority, or if you're got some job to do, you have to do it indiscriminately or something. You have to just you have to basically punish everyone equally. Otherwise, you're a fucking loser.
This self-sabotage makes sense on a completely moral level, but it's very impractical. By the way, it's
bullshit.
It's basically
it is bullshit. It is bullshit.
Sort of corruption of it's a corruption of human nature, especially.
It's a corruption. It's about this prevents me from becoming evil. Basically, that's the only excuse they have, and I sort of understand why they're saying that. Imagine a guy who's like a top athlete and he's always winning in every single one. It doesn't matter what's the sport, but just once, he's forced to cheat or take dope or something so he can win, and for whatever reason, that one time after many years becomes public. It's revealed. His entire image is shattered just because he cheated once. It doesn't matter if he was right 1,000 times or he won 1,000 times. That one time was enough to destroy him.
You know what I like about a lot of older anime is that they had protagonists who were willing to do the dirty work. They didn't really
because
care.
they were not throwing self-imposed limitations.
Yeah. Freaking Fist
Like,
of the North Star.
Especially when it was like, it was the kind of person who he had a job to do. Like imagine a cop or a detective.
What's wrong with self-imposed limitations?
They are pretentious because if you break them once, it's the end. There are always exceptions. That's what I'm trying to say. You cannot always do things right 100% your entire life.
Basically,
you
like
make a mistake, and that one mistake will be usually enough to destroy your entire image, and that's the problem.
Right.
Wait, but if it
my question is, do you have that problem with stuff like Batman?
But if it's objective, then
because
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't kill
Batman does 100% all the time. So.
In some
damn it,
cases,
Kaiser.
Batman is different. Where he's not like that all the time. Like for example, I think it's Infinite Crisis, he does use a gun to kill Darkseid. Like he treats it as like, oh, I broke my rules or whatever, but he says he had to do it.
No, he did it like it was
the thing
nothing
with
in
many
the movie.
superheroes, which are around for many decades, is that they get rewritten depending on who's writing them, because the pen artist changes, the writer changes, and this has the effect of changing the personality of a character, regardless of how simple he seems to be. Do you know how many times they rewrote the ideals of Captain America?
Are you talking about like when he went Hail Hydra or some shit?
No, that was mind control. I'm talking about what does being a patriot means. It changes every decade depending on who's writing him.
It seems like it changes every year for Superman.
Dude, Batman used to straight up shoot the fucking villains with a gun. Actually,
Right. We've gotten way off topic. I don't even know what you guys are going on about now.
Yeah.
I don't think you had any kind of actual.
No, what I was
structure
saying is, but if it's objective, then wouldn't it be something 100% of the time?
If what's
I
objective?
don't even remember. I just remembered that was.
Idiot.
You
can never listen.
Kaiser, stop
You can never
interrupting so much.
impose a limitation to yourself for something you believe. If you break it once, it's going to destroy you. There's no such
so
thing.
basically
Exceptions exist.
So
Exceptions exist to prove the rule. Okay.
What you're
All
saying
right,
is
but-
never have a limitation that you can control yourself.
Yeah, but
Yes, I mean, imagine this.
Why?
How sensitive are you if you actually believe if you don't be like that 100% of the time your entire life, you're gonna be ruined after that. I mean, how sensitive and fragile are you?
I mean, you might
Well, I
be,
mean,
you won't,
No, it's
like
not.
you might be,
If-
you might be
hold on,
But
ruined.
it's good
Kaiser,
to
shut
have. But
You might be
Kaiser,
ruined on social
Kaiser.
media.
I mean,
Kaiser,
okay.
But
I mean, if
but
I
nobody
die
cares.
once, I mean, my life's kind of screwed from then on. So, I mean, there are
Yeah,
some
So
things.
you impose the limitation of making sure you're not gonna die. What?
Yeah.
well, I mean, no, he's talking about limitations like
but see,
like
having
Moral.
having limitations is
It's
no
not
different than.
rules that you set for yourself.
All right, Kaiser, be quiet. No, I can't even get it. I can't say anything because you keep interrupting.
You interrupt everyone on the show.
Me?
No, Kaiser.
I think that's common for everybody here.
No.
No.
We all fucking
no.
shut up to let someone talk.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
You've
Go
been
for
trying to say. Most of us have been trying to say something for a while, guys.
Like, I literally forgot what I was talking about, but I just remembered my next line, and I was just hoping to God that Snob remembered. And then Plot's
What
like,
am I letting you?
and then Plot said, just happened to say, objective to what? And I was like, fuck you, Plot. I don't remember what it was. I just remembered I was supposed to say
Damn
that.
your goddamn attention spans. You cannot stay focused. I remember everything I
But
said.
it was like 15 minutes ago. What are you talking about?
That's your problem.
You
Anyways,
also forgot.
self-imposed limitations are pretentious because nobody's perfect. You
But
will
that's no
eventually have to
different-
break the rules at least once in your entire goddamn life.
But that's-
And if that is enough to destroy your whole image, then you were pretentious to begin with. Because you
But
cannot
that's no-
build an image based on being perfect all the time. It
It's no
doesn't work
different
like that.
It's no different than a morality, though, because people have morals that they want to live by, even if they don't always adhere to them. Are you saying that inherently it's
Having morals is very good. It helps you. It gives you a way of it gives you a way of knowing how to live. Okay, there's no problem with that.
Yeah, I
but
wouldn't
being
really-
unable to break them without destroying your entire life. I mean,
But
come
the-
on.
I don't
Yeah,
even
so-
know too many shows that's like that, though.
I don't know. If you have the
That's
moral,
the problem.
if you have a
are you
moral
talking about?
against
No,
kidnapping children,
what I'm saying is I don't know of too many shows that have self-imposed limitations where if they break them, it destroys everything.
Anything that talks about ideals and bothers to have great characters is
No,
definitely
ideals are the same. Ideals aren't that different from morals. What are you talking about?
that's
He's
what-
not saying they're different. He's just using different words to mean the same thing, I think.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
thing.
It can be
But-
ideals, it can be
but
morals, it can be
good,
something else
but you don't
that
like
leads to
ideas.
great characters. I mean, come on, let's not make anything that's about good guys and bad guys that bother us to have at least one thing where the good guy is supposed to do something bad or the bad guy is supposed to do something good. You get that feel, you get that scene. It's
The
enough.
the only
You cannot
issue,
break it once, either side, without destroying his entire image. I'm sorry, you were pretentious to
all
begin
right.
with.
All right.
What's
So-
the point of having great characters if they cannot break the goddamn rules?
Right. Now, I can list an example of where I can tell when this is clearly in a show. The Flash, they have a scene, they always have scenes where it's like, if you kill this person, you're no better than them. But there are actual episodes where he has killed people in it. And I'm just like, what are we even arguing about? He's already killed like 4 people in the show.
Deadpool.
And then he hangs out regularly with a guy
Yeah,
who's killed like
Deadpool is-
30 people.
Yeah, Deadpool is different. He's a mercenary. He's not
No,
really
but
a hero.
no, but at
having
the
talking
very
about in the
end,
show.
but
they
about
were
the Flash
doing
thing,
that.
yeah, okay, I understand why this is pretentious for this exact reason. Whereas if we just take the simple example of Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. This is not really a limitation, is it now? You just need to be responsible with what you have. It's not a
Right.
limitation.
I-
It's
No.
defining
You
what
need
he's
to
going to do
accept
with
it.
his superpower.
you need to
Now,
accept.
how does this relate to my hero, though?
Okay, it relates with my hero because they say one thing and they immediately contradict it in the next one. Okay?
Like what? Give an example.
Okay, let's say now, heroism is whatever the fuck each one of them thinks it is. There's no steady explanation for what heroism means in the show, and it
That's right.
changes all the time depending on whatever each one of them thinks.
Yeah.
Therefore, it has no meaning.
Well,
It's,
no.
it's, it's a
the
completely
whole thing is
personal,
that lots of
selfish
different-
image,
No.
which can even change depending on the episode.
No, because the whole show is different people who have different
Yeah.
views on what it means to
Um,
be a hero, and they're kind of all
Therefore,
philosophizing
heroism
with
doesn't
each
mean
other.
anything.
No,
It's
it
about
doesn't.
something more than anything. What separates you from being a villain if heroism can be a thousand different things?
Oh, well, that's very simple. Look, like, I don't really like Hero Academia, but the answer is very simple. Heroism in Hero Academia just means defending civilization, and all the villains just want to destroy civilization and create chaos. So anything is heroism so long as you're defending civilization, whereas anything that's not heroism is just causing chaos.
So what about
everything else is just
what
bullshit
about-
opinion that it's
No,
being
what
selfless,
about,
making
what
money,
about Stain?
having duty,
Yeah,
all that is
yeah.
just in
Stain is an
service
anti-hero.
for civilization. But
Yeah, he's an anti-hero.
that's basically the entirety of heroism in
He's
Hero
an
Academia
anti-hero.
in general.
Yeah, he's an anti-hero, but at the same time,
Rika, I don't think you know too much
Treat him
about
like
the
a
show.
villain.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't think you know that much about the show.
No, what I was
'cause
trying-
they're-
I watched like
they
2
bring up-
seasons, and that's it.
Okay, so let's say Rika Fag's like ideas are the base argument, and then
Right.
everyone just adds like one other thing onto it, and that is
Right,
their
that's
idea
what I
of
said.
heroism.
I mean, it's not that different than what's
That's what I said. It's all in service of defending civilization, while all
Yeah,
the
that's
villains
like
just want to
the
destroy
base. Because you have Stain, who's shown as like a villain a lot of times, but he also had nobler goals of trying to reform society by doing actions.
He
even though
doesn't
they were
believe, like
villainous.
Stain says he doesn't like heroes because they're piece of shits for heroes, and then he doesn't like villains
Yeah,
either because there's nothing good about them.
Stain was very much Kantian in his perception
haven't
of
watched
heroes.
that.
Because that's season 2. You said you watched 2
Well,
seasons.
I mean, sorry, I watched it until
He watched the
tournament arc,
first part of season 2.
Okay. Yes.
I stopped it at the tournament arc. I didn't care.
Stain has like a Kantian view of it, whereas you have to do something good implicitly without
selfish
wanting to
desire.
gain something out of it.
Of course. He has the true heroism.
He wants the true altruism for.
The true altruism.
That's why he kills heroes.
True altruism.
And he views that only All Might actually like purely upholds to this, and so he and it's not bad to like for Snob, for you to say that because there's a discussion about different views on how something works. That's to discount like all of philosophy in its existence.
You
to say,
don't understand what I mean. They have so many different views on heroism. It's not like left or right. It's like a thousand.
So what you're saying is that there's no longer an objective standard.
No longer about something. It can be anything. That's what I'm saying here. And if you say that heroism is just about maintaining civilization, I can just as easily say that all this nonsense about trying to be famous and make money and be a celebrity is also destroying civilization, because how can you maintain a civilization based on this nonsense?
Not everyone has perfect morals.
You didn't really say how being famous for civilization that it does.
Just look at feminism. Like, that's an ideology that fucking destroys everything, and they think it's good.
The thing about feminism is that even feminism has its own sects to where they're like, oh, they don't all believe in the same fucking thing. To them, anything is...
Yeah, but every single strand is terrible.
But if you differ so much from one individual to another, it doesn't mean anything.
It does differ.
It no longer helps.
Pretentious part. Okay, listen, guys, I can even move to this other pretentious part. You cannot really talk about heroism if you don't have a quirk, okay? You cannot be a villain or a hero without a quirk. So how pretentious is that? That you need superpowers in order to talk about it.
You've got the spin-off stuff where they even have people who don't have quirks that are participating stuff, and then you have the civilians.
But are they accepted as part members of the hero organization
or
whatever?
You know this because Deku, before he got a quirk, was accepted.
Exactly.
So, he was accepted so he can try to enter. He wasn't accepted, to enter. He was accepted as a candidate to
try.
Enter.
Yeah. So they didn't really know anything about him until then.
No, they knew everything because of the transcripts and everything like that. That's literally how you get accepted. They have to know your fucking background.
Well, then in that case, I mean, they already knew he had a quirk because probably All Might told him. Hey,
no, because he doesn't have a quirk.
Down to him.
Freaking All Might didn't even know about him until then.
He enrolled to take the test before he even had a quirk, and they allowed him to take the test. Now, whether he'll do well on the test is no different than people not doing well on a physical at a police assessment. So to point out that there's flaws, this points to flaws within the society, and this is a problem that the villains raise in the show, that there are flaws underlying society, and that's why a system needs to be overturned.
I mean,
that's good writing. That's world development.
I don't disagree with the fact that you pretty much need a superpower to be a hero, just because of if you're going up against a villain, they're not going to hold back on their superpowers just because you have one.
What if it's not a villain with superpowers? What if it's just some crook stealing a wallet?
Vaporize them.
Yeah, that was literally the first villain. The sludge guy literally stole someone's wallet.
Yes, but he still had superpowers.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's why you need superpowers to fight them.
Not all criminals need superpowers to do criminal acts.
Yeah, it's not like there's an organization giving out a criminal license.
If 80% of the population already has a superpower, there's probably an 80% chance if you're getting mugged by someone, they might have a superpower.
Yes, but you're not following what I'm saying here. You don't really need a superpower to be a hero if you just stop some guy from doing a criminal act.
And you're right. And like I said, if they have all these tests, sure, you can apply. You might even get accepted. That's no different than...
Do they ever try to arrest you for trying to be a hero on your own?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Yes, officially. If you don't have a diploma, you are arrested for trying to be a hero without a diploma. Blah.
Well, that's no different than vigilantism with like Batman or Spider-Man, because you're impeding law enforcement. Now, if it's self-defense, then
we didn't have such a case. We didn't have such a case, so we cannot talk about it. Don't know how they...
what I mean is, imagine there's a situation, right? Like with cops, you got to call a cop, and there's not always going to be a hero around, right?
Right.
So what if you try to stop them yourself? Are you going to get arrested for that?
That's self-defense in real life.
Well,
They
no,
haven't shown
Yeah.
such a case.
But no. What I mean is that you try to stop the villain on your own, but you're not the target of the villain.
Then you
per
get
se.
in
like,
trouble.
You're trying to do more like civilian duty. Per se.
Guys, the closest thing the show had was when the other three invaded the city along with Stein, and they were scolded for using their superpowers to save civilians and themselves from the Nomu.
Ow.
See the pretentiousness here.
I know.
Right, but see, the thing that was the point with that is that they were active students in training, and then they left their post when they were under the guise of
But
other people.
first, when I heard
to
that,
do
I
this.
thought they were only
And
scolded.
they went out of their way to find a person to beat up, rather than actively being in danger themselves.
So-
No, what I was,
I'm trying-
which makes it
goddamn
different.
What I'm trying to say is, I thought they were scolded because they were using their superpowers, because the superpower was not allowed, not just because they tried to stop them. Like,
Once again, we go back to the point. You cannot be a hero without having superpowers. And even when you have superpowers, you are not allowed to use them if you don't have a license.
Okay,
and you
so
cannot
my-
have a
my-
license
so-
unless you go through all the tests. And
I'm
you
trying
cannot
to
go
get-
through all the
I'm trying-
tests without
all
being a
right,
pretentious
so-
asshole.
No, I'm trying to get.
What's
to
your
the bottom.
problem, though? What's your
trying to
problem
get- I'm
with
trying to get-
this?
okay,
That
hold on.
Why is Bakugo even in this goddamn academy? He's a psychopath.
My
That's
question is to try.
Yes.
My question is to
Because
Where
try.
are the
facilitates the
psychological
dialogue.
tests?
all right.
Because
Okay.
it facilitates the dialogue.
Okay,
The
everyone's
first thing
talking
we know
at
about
once.
the points-
Okay. My question is.
They give
to get-
you secret
Right.
points for saving someone during that attack of the robots in the first exam.
Hold on,
And
my-
then you say,
my-
I'm
okay,
gonna
okay,
punish
okay,
you
hold on.
Kaiser,
if
no
you
one cares
don't
about
save
your thing.
others.
Hold on. Okay. One at a
Kaiser,
time.
no one gives a
Wait,
question.
let Kaiser.
One at a time.
let
All right, fine.
My question is, I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Are you saying it's pretentious and bad in that they never try to call out the Hero Association for this? Because I'm trying, because that's the only way I
They
can see it being.
constantly change what it means to be a hero to the point it doesn't mean anything.
Well,
it can
no,
be
you-
anything the
how?
show wants
Well,
it to
no,
be.
You said it's
No.
pretentious in that it's like the heroes criticize people for trying to be heroes without superpowers, but do they ever get called out for being that way with other people? By other than
The show
state.
doesn't address it, but pretty much it's what happens. I mean, come on, guys. In the same test, they gave Deku, he had 0 points, but he saved the Gravity Girl, so he got lots of points and he passed the test. But when he does the exact same thing outside to save civilians and himself, now he's scolded. But he's not really punished because, yeah, he's a protagonist, so
Gravity.
fuck you.
All right.
I mean,
All right. So here's the thing. You got mad. I remember seeing these original.
First episode, he
Yes.
goes to save Bakugo without superpowers, and he gets scolded for trying to be a hero without superpowers.
Because he almost died himself.
And
They
that's
said-
why he was accepted by All Might to be successor. See the pretentiousness.
No, I don't. I don't see what's pretentious about that in the slightest. What's
He
pretentious?
was
'Cause that-
chosen exactly because he didn't have any superpowers, and he still tried to help others. And from that episode onwards, they keep on punishing you for using your
yeah,
superpowers.
but wasn't it
It's
really
like
only
Captain
All Might?
America,
who
though.
did that?
right.
Was
Like
it
the
because
Captain
they're
America
only-
movies where he did the right thing, like diving on a grenade and whatnot with no superpowers or anything like that, and kept helping people out.
Because
that's no different.
because if I remember correctly, All Might said that his powers have to be chosen by the person using them, and it can only be given to somebody they view as somebody who's morally worthy of it or something.
Well, that's what he chooses to only give it to someone he views as
No.
more.
And how is that not pretentious? We keep on. We keep
No,
on
Because
it facilitates-
it would be like the best person to give their powers to. Like if you're going to give your powers to a certain person, that like if you're going to give it to anyone, you might as well give it to someone who is very selfish and wants to be the ideal hero.
Somebody who's more like All Might than other people, basically.
Yes.
So far, all I can
by the
tell
way,
when you use the word
The only
pretentious.
thing Deku had for helping Bakugo in that first episode was just rushing towards him and try to pull him out, which is totally contradicting his whole concept of being smart and always thinking ahead.
Yep.
And how
No,
exactly are
he-
you the
that's
ideal
not true.
candidate for the best hero when you don't really plan ahead? If he had some sort of a strategy and
But he
still
did.
tried to save Bakugo, I would
In the
understand
thing.
that.
They did. You show he uses his bag, and you see him
That's
talk about
kind of
things
a,
that
that's
he
kind of
knows.
a, that's kind of like though kind of a stupid idea for what to do when you're facing a sludge monster.
No, but it slightly worked.
I mean-
and so he didn't just rush in with no plan. It also showed decisiveness of action and a form of altruism, which were things that All Might viewed as important. Snob, so far as I can tell, every time you use the word pretentious, it seems like you're just conflating it with the word nuance.
Mm.
Nuance.
Nuance, as in
Rika, were you
Not-
AFK?
No, I'm still there.
No, were you?
Just listening. No, I'm still there.
Okay.
I did not leave.
because
He's clocked out mentally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his attention span just passed like
Oh no.
half an hour ago.
No, the thing is that I'm basically agreeing with Snob on this point. It's,
Okay, nuance. What's the difference between nuance and pretentiousness?
like no,
For
I'd
those
like
who don't
to know.
understand it, okay, I'm not really doing it for me. I'm just saying. For those 200 people who's gonna watch this live stream. Okay.
I'm doing it for you.
You're
'Cause I
looking
think
on
the pro-
Wikipedia right now, don't you?
See, here's the
What?
thing. The thing is mostly that Snob is arguing, just to see if I'm right. The thing that Snob is not is arguing is not that it's pretentious, but it has contradiction in its storytelling, in which Deku at the beginning is being altruistic, then he's altruistic at the school, but then when he's being altruistic outside the school, he's getting reprimanded. And
When
it's
he's being
shit.
altruistic where it matters, right?
Exactly. And is this correct, Snob? Just getting your opinion on this.
He is being treated depending what the plot wants him to be. So this is why, regardless
So, yeah,
of where
it's
he's
contradictory.
standing, he has a completely different reaction based on what the situation is about.
So you're saying
So-
it's not
Every
following
single
narrative.
time.
So again, a
You're saying
contradiction.
it's not following narrative consistency.
No,
Oh, so
I mean,
is it-
okay, here's another example. He's fighting Muscular later on in the series. His strategy is just to punch the villain harder because he got he found new hope by a kid who just says, "Please don't die," and this is supposed to be heroism or some shit. Because if he hadn't used his powers, by the way, without a license to save himself, oh, he broke the rules, so now he has to be scolded, right, guys?
no, because that would be self-defense. Whereas the other one was him going out of his way to fight someone.
Yes, but how does that connect with heroism?
It does.
He was being altruistic and trying to save a kid while also saving himself. How is that not self-defense and it's altruism? What is the nuance here?
What do you mean? All right. Are you asking? He's a hero in the eye of
The
the kid.
1 million power-up, which wasn't only 1 million. What was it? Was it altruism? Was trying to save himself? Was strategy?
It was power scaling.
heroism? What was it? It's bullshit writing, by the way. But what was it within the show?
Okay, so basically, are you saying that it's pretentious because you're saying it's pretentious
It can
because
be whatever the author wants it to be at
Yeah,
any
yeah,
given
hold on.
moment.
So-
No, exactly.
hold on,
In a
hold
completely
on,
different
please.
point in the story, it's gonna
I'm-
be something completely different.
I'm trying to
So
simplify
this is an
okay?
anime directed by Digi.
What?
I'm trying to I'm trying to simplify this.
What's the difference between nuance and pretentiousness? Come on, solve this issue already.
My,
pretentious like My Hero
okay, so
Academia.
first, let me just say this. Okay, so what you're saying is it's pretentious because first he's being praised for being altruistic in the tests and places where it's less where it matters less, but when he's actually on the field and supposed to be altruistic, he's being punished for it.
Usually, not always. Go on.
Right.
But is that basically what you're saying? It's pretentious because it shows
Yes.
that lack of a narrative.
Yes, and they
consistency.
keep on changing what a hero means depending on what each of the students or the teachers wants to do with his superpowers later on in his life. It's not always
Right.
the same thing.
I'm really liking this debate because it's going to make the next one so much easier. Because now I
Alright.
see what you like and dislike.
All right. So to which I will respond with, it's not narratively inconsistent because it shows flaws within the society and the trade-offs people have to make for a functional society.
Yeah, but it also, but at the same time, you also have, but at the same time, it's the system that's praising him first, but then punishing. Him. So it's
And that's the thing. So often in life, because this is actually representative of, in ways, the real world, we have things that can be praised as good. You do the right thing for the right reason, or you do the wrong thing for the right reason, and you can get in some instances.
But in real life, a lot of
good.
times it's based on the situation, right?
Exactly, and the same goes for in the show. Based on the situation.
Okay, let's
altruism's
just
good.
use America as
Good
an
in some
example.
cases.
Yeah, okay, guys,
You
let's
know-
use America as an example where everyone gets a gun. And let's say instead of quirks, we got guns. How does each situation handles the equivalence of instead of using a quirk, you're using a gun?
This kind of confuses me because
You see how confusing it is even in the real world?
But basically,
But we have laws,
what I mean,
specific laws.
no, that's not what I mean. What I
Specific
mean
laws
is
for this
like
situation.
for example, when he first tries to be altruistic, that's when he's trying to save Bakugo. He's praised for that, right?
Without a gun.
But in that situation, when he tried to save Bakugo, it's not like there was any kind of control to it. And in the second situation, they could have probably shut down the robot or something. In the other situations, it's the same as when he tries to save Bakugo, other than that he has a quirk. So he's safer now. So why is he being punished? Even though he has now a way to defend himself now.
So what you're saying is, before it was a controlled situation, and in the real world, it's uncontrolled.
No. In the first situation, it's more like if he was actually on the job when he tried to save Bakugo, except he didn't have a quirk. And the second time, it was during the test when they could have easily just shut down the robot to save Rock or whatever, Gravity Girl.
Right. But see, the test was to see how they would act in scenarios, and whereas the first scenario, yes, he did get in trouble for trying to interfere, so it's not inconsistent with what later happens with Stain. Whereas the test that they were in was under the assumption as if it was like they already had a license.
But when they do have a license,
now,
right?
Snob later complains that it not being heroic for them, for Deku to fight off Muscular, but we don't have to conflate what society views as a breaking the law as the same thing as what it means to be a hero, because this is one of the things that the show is following the law the same thing as being a hero.
No, well, I mean, they use their powers to save people.
Right. Sometimes.
Yeah, what's confusing is first, okay, so the test is like if they already have a license, but when they do have a license, they're being punished for what they were being praised for doing.
No, none of them have a license
yet.
What are you talking about? None of them have a license.
Then they become like interns that have like some kind of license to do hero work.
No, they didn't.
That's in the manga. That hasn't happened yet. That's in the manga.
Where they isn't he talking about just My Hero Academia in general?
He's only watching the show, as far as I can tell.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not reading the manga. I don't care about the manga. By the way, I have an example from my life. Okay, want to hear this example from my life?
Okay, go ahead.
Which is very relevant. What's going on in My Hero Academia? Okay,
that you're a god
ready for
and
it?
Everyone else is plebeians.
Here's an insight to the snob's life. Okay, here's how it goes.
Aside from when you're watering tomatoes.
Yes, of course. I do more things than just watering tomatoes.
You also talk about Moe while watering the grass.
He talks about what slice of life sucks.
Okay, listen to this. In my country, we still have mandatory military service. We all have to go to the army. Okay?
Specifically the army, or can you go to any branch? Or do you only have an army?
You can choose your branch, but depending on the demands, they can say, "Oh, sorry, not enough positions there, so fuck off and go there anyways." So you can choose where you want to go, but if there are not enough positions or there are more positions than needed, then your opinion doesn't really matter.
Needs of the military.
Yeah, exactly. So, by the way, I was asked when I entered, do you want to be just a common soldier, or do you want to be a cadet? And I said, well, I want to be a cadet because I didn't want to be amongst the plebs. And as it turns out, there were so few people wanting to be a cadet that year that I became one easily without even having to pass the exams. People were afraid of having authority in the army because it's a very scary thing to be in authority in the actual army without having an actual war. So I was a cadet. They put me as the team leader of a tank. Okay, I was the leader of the tank, standing on top. Okay, telling what to shoot. And we were in an exercise at one point. And the fucking idiot, simple soldier at the machine gun inside the tank was supposed to shoot at the target. But first he had to load the machine gun. And he couldn't do that because nobody trained him how to do it.
Whatever.
What?
Never mind.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
Continue.
Okay. So I was telling him how to load it. He was completely incompetent to do so. We were just standing there like idiots for 10 minutes. I was being told from the radio to keep on pressuring him to do it right. The guy was panicking. He wasn't doing right. So I just did the normal thing anyone would do. I left my position. I loaded the goddamn machine gun and went back to my position. And I was punished for that because I was not ordered to leave my position because this was a test. And supposed these accidents are what killing people. But if this was an actual war, not an exercise, we would be dead because we would be sitting ducks, unable to fight back. Okay?
So basically, the right thing to do in an actual war would be to load it yourself if you couldn't do it.
Yes, by far.
Because the other one couldn't do it.
So
it's the exact same situation with My Hero Academia, and you see the pretense because nobody's openly telling them within the tests says, yes, these are just tests, they're not really what you're supposed to do outside there. What we're teaching you all this time is bullshit, okay?
Yeah,
What we're
so-
teaching you in the school is completely contradictory of what we're supposed to do outside the school.
Yes.
They never make that clear. They
So
just
your
wait for
problem
this.
with the show is that it's actually representative of real life. Wow.
No, it's not, because they never address it before it actually becomes an issue, which is what
No,
makes it pretentious.
so-
They
so
made
when-
it clear in my case. They made it clear in my case that they punish me because people die when you break orders in the army. Nobody gets killed in the goddamn academy when you break the orders.
But people do
So-
die if they are killed.
They could die. Yeah, people could die, and that's the reason why they're laws to begin with. So you're saying that the show eventually getting to storytelling and world building is bad inherently. That's basically what I'm
No, it's
surmising from it at this
pretentious in
point.
how it handles the whole situation. It has no specific rules of when you can or you cannot do something, and when it does, it keeps contradicting itself in favor of the protagonist every single goddamn time, I'm sad.
I mean, I could definitely relate to Snob
The scenario that you're
because
bringing up about him he didn't benefit. He got in trouble. What are you talking about, Snob?
He never gets punished, okay?
He does
He's
too.
All Might's favorite pupil. He's never gonna get punished. Never.
All right, I've been reading the manga, and he does definitely get punished. So
Did that happen in the anime?
Not yet.
it hasn't happened yet. It's
Fuck
going
you.
to soon.
Okay. So, aside from My Hero Academia, wasn't there also a topic about Naruto or something?
Yeah, why Naruto is better?
Oh, okay.
Does anyone in here in this chat actually believes that the early Naruto was worse than My Hero Academia?
That wasn't the debate I was talking about.
I do think it's worse.
Naruto?
Snob. Plot does.
Yeah, I do.
Plot really
do.
hates Naruto, especially the beginning.
Not the, I don't care. The beginning's fine. It's better than later in Naruto, but I think My Hero is all around more
it's
consistent.
what the
than
what
Naruto.
that hates the beginning more than the ending.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He hates the beginning more than the ending.
That's what the what.
You know,
How is this a thing?
I'll give Naruto this, okay? Naruto, even though he has a fucking nine-tailed fox kind of a fucking get-out-of-jail-free card shit, like, at least he does train more and better than at least, say, like a light novel Battle Harem where there's no training. So when he does train, even though he has that same I have a special gift shit, he does do hardcore training that humans probably don't do.
Yeah, what the what only likes the middle of Naruto.
When you say middle, what do you
I
mean?
have no clue. He's just told me the middle, and I was like, "What do you mean by middle?" It's like
There are 700 episodes. What's the middle?
that's what I asked, and he never explained
Yeah,
it.
and there's a ton of fucking filler too. So what is the middle?
He's never
Maybe it's
explained
a-
it to me. He's only just said he hates the beginning the most. He dislikes the ending, and he somewhat likes the middle.
So he hates episode 1, he loves episode 700, and he's okay with everything in between.
No, he dislikes the ending as well. Like he dislikes the beginning more. I think he likes
does
the
he mean-
middle the most.
Does he mean beginning episode or beginning arcs?
I think it's beginning episodes.
All right, so do we want to
Okay,
move on to
back to
your
the show. Moving on,
debate,
please.
All right. Do you want?
Unknown? I don't think we're getting anywhere with Snob in mind.
Not
Okay,
at
I'm
least
gonna
not.
leave so you can have a chat without me then.
No.
You're
No,
right.
Unknown
No.
wanted to debate something with Naruto.
Yeah. What I was saying, the Kakashi versus Zabuza, the very first fight. Do you think that was good writing?
There was nothing contradictory about it, if that's what you mean in terms of morality. You know, in terms of writing, okay, you got a ninja that can copy anyone's moves at that point, so that's kind of a cheap. It's
At
like-
least he's not. At least he's not the protagonist. At least.
Yeah, he's not the protagonist, and he doesn't just magically cancel everyone else's power. It's wink, wink.
Yeah.
So, as far as Kakashi goes, yes, he's a very cool character because
I
the mask dude,
also I do
that
think-
mask dude.
Yeah.
I
just
think-
look at my
I think
mask. That's why.
Yeah, I think what's good. I think what's good though is that even though Kakashi won that fight against Zabuza in the first fight, and he kind of steamrolled him at first, it was more so that Zabuza was just not expecting it. But then the second fight, now
I love
Z-
the part-
Zabuza's doing better now because he expected it.
No, the second fight he's better because of the hidden miss jutsu to cancel out the Sharingan.
All right,
Yeah, he was
so
expecting it, so he prepared for it.
no, here's
Yes.
the thing with
You see how
Naruto.
a lot
That's,
But
just like the supposed actual ninjas that were based on stealth, and they were learning from each situation. So this is what was making a tactical show. which is something we cannot say about most fighting shonen, which is just mindless. Punch the guy with a power up of 1 million because the kid was crying next to you. Blah.
I have a power level of 1 million.
The power up of 1 million. It was just a number he made up at the time, but
No.
It's not
If
like
you
the
power
basic
scale
consistent
it,
with the
He's
show.
overhyping his own abilities, is what you're saying.
but I still
Yeah,
haven't
he
gotten
was.
to any of my points yet.
Oh no, I'm just trying to defend this one-off thing
Okay,
because
fine.
I saw
Go.
a snob video where he said that it was inconsistent because it's like, oh, how can he?
So you got
it's
triggered
that
by a snob video. Welcome to the club.
No, it's more of just since we're already here arguing, I might as well point out one of his logical fallacies. Is that he brings up that this is inconsistent, but it's clearly shown,
yeah.
like
So what
at the
about-
very
Kaiser,
end of
shut up.
season 1.
Yeah, no, shush. What about your point? You were going to bring up a point.
Yeah, my point was that Snob
No,
said
I mean,
that
otaku.
No, I said Kaiser, shut up. We're trying to hear freaking plot, and then mine's
thought he-
right after.
Oh, okay, that's what you said. I thought you were trying to activate executive authority to bring up your point.
why would he
Get to
yell
the
at
point when you said the point.
Go plot.
Okay, so I know Snob brought up that it was BS that Deku could have a
1 million.
1 million% power up, which we all agree it wasn't actually 1 million%.
Unless
but,
you're Seth.
unless you're Seth, the program.
This guy's stronger than time, man.
Okay, but it's not inconsistent with there because we've clearly seen All Might do this a couple of times throughout the show. He does it at the end of season 1, where you see that they have like their normal base power and his plus ultra, where it's showing him like combining all the powers from previous users and overexerting himself. And it's no different than like the mom that can pick up a car.
Yeah, but isn't plus ultra supposed to be more like he's also trying to surpass the limits that his powers are putting onto him? Like,
No, plus ultra is just a phrase that means to go beyond.
yeah,
in
but
the show.
that's what it means narratively. He's trying to go beyond the limits that he's been faced with.
Yeah, but it's literally a
it's-
phrase that everyone uses. Even
Yeah,
inside the
it's
stadium,
literally-
everyone said plus ultra as they cheered.
Yeah.
It-
But
it's
wasn't
literally
it,
just a
wasn't
slang
he,
phrase.
Wasn't he the one who started that or something?
All Might
It's a thing.
apparently started it, but it was just it just turned
It's
into
just
a
a slang,
phrase.
it's just a slang phrase. Who knows who started it? It doesn't matter.
Just like heroism, it doesn't mean anything.
Well, I mean, I just figured that he says it as the meaning behind his word phrasing is that you need to try to surpass your limits or something.
Well, All Might said that because he was
Become
trying
more
to
famous,
inspire his
to make
students.
more money, or whatever the show wants you to do, depending on the situation. There's no specific thing you can do with plus ultra.
I mean, All Might versus Norm, like All Might did say he put out more than 100%.
Yeah, that was completely bullshit, okay? You can say, well, it wasn't really 100%. It wasn't really 1 million%. It's all bullshit every single time, isn't it?
It's no different than like you running normally and you're saying I'd try as hard as I can and then you doing a bit better. It's you just pushing way harder than you're normally used to. Saying
Your 100% is the maximum capacity of what you can do. It's not your normal 10%.
so you're upset
What
that
we're
they
doing, we're
use
just sitting down on a chair. It's just 10% of what we can actually do.
right. So you're upset because they use crappy definitions for their base.
They use numbers, first of all, percentages, which is the worst thing you can do.
Except
to
they're
show
all
how someone
figurative.
is.
They don't. It's not
It's like the
no,
dumbest thing in Yu Yu Hakusho shows when they are saying, "Oh, I'm at this percent. Now I'm at this percent. Now I'm at this percent."
And Dragon Ball did.
Fucking
Yeah, power
Toguro.
levels.
All power levels, holy shit.
This is
Where-
my final form.
Oh wait,
Oh, no.
that's my 100%. Oh, I forgot. I can go 120%.
Whereas Dragon Ball actually tried to adhere to these numbers the whole time. My Hero is only using as a figurative idea of what the person views.
Just like
As
heroism is figurative, it doesn't really mean anything.
I don't even know where you're getting this idea that it means nothing because people can have debates
either
about something,
money
therefore it
or
has no meaning.
Altruism
It's retarded.
or plot convenience or an excuse for a power-up or whatever the plot wants it to mean.
I mean, what I'm viewing is you're viewing just the idea that different people have different perceptions of what the hero is, therefore it has
And
no
this
meaning.
shouldn't
Like
be the
dare to
case.
deconstruct.
Dude,
Right.
this shouldn't be the case. Okay? We shouldn't have a different view of what the laws are. We shouldn't have a different opinion of what justice is. Okay, we don't maintain a
justice and
society
laws are
based on
very
What are you
different.
talking about, Snob?
ideas about fundamental
had
ideas.
debates of what is justice for all of history.
The laws are very clear about it. There's nothing to discuss.
Laws
and-
change too.
Laws
Snob. Laws change all the time. What's wrong?
Laws and
What don't you
justice
un-
are completely different things. It's not justice that a man loses half his shit in divorce and then has to pay millions of dollars to his ex-wife for the rest of her life, and then he fucking kills himself, hanging himself. Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Is that really what happened to Robin Williams? Shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like he literally could
I just
not
heard-
pay it, or else he go to prison. So he just hung himself.
From what I heard, that's the whole reason Robin Williams kept making a lot of the movies he was making, just to make the money for that shit.
I was like, that's not justice. That's just the laws. The laws do not equate to justice.
Okay, and what would the justice be in this situation?
Okay, I think what it comes down to it is like when it comes down to laws, it's more so like laws related to stuff that keeps people from getting hurt. Like fucking don't murder people, don't steal, yada yada yada. Just laws that we've had forever.
So,
Those are the yeah.
Snob, what you're describing is very much like what a dare to deconstruction would be.
Oh, no, my
Deconstruction.
academic deconstruct.
No, what you're viewing it is as like a dare to deconstruction. But the fact of the matter is, it's not that My Hero says that it can be anything. It clearly hints that tries to have an overarching goal of what it is. Now, is there some nuance to it that varies between person?
No.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes, no, in what
Necro
way?
and All Might is everything about heroism as it truly is, altruism and being selfless in helping others. Everyone else is a pretentious asshole. Everyone
So
else.
you're saying it.
Bakugo wants to be the #1 hero because he never wants to lose.
So
That's
by you
what makes a
saying
hero, right?
to him, maybe, but what you just proved
And
the
nobody
opposite of your
bothers
point the
to
whole
say
time.
that
You
nobody
just
needs to be a hero.
admitted that the
That's
true
social
definition
buff.
and
That's school bully. Not Sasuke because he maintains the status quo at the end of this arc.
and he
Bullshit.
grows throughout the show to understand what the show wants to convey as what it means to be a hero more throughout the show. So
That
by
happened.
Bakugo's, it's slowly happening. We see that
Slowly happening. I don't see it, but it's slowly happening.
That's well, one, we have like what's in the first season after he does the test he compares him to other people, he loses some pride. And then we've had the recent stuff where he was kidnapped, and then you hear a speech with the villains where
Basically,
he's reflecting.
it's a learning process for Bakugo.
For Bakugo, it's a learning process, yes. Wow, look, character development, that makes a show bad. He should have started out perfect, like a Fist of the North Star.
Ooh. Fist of the North Star was never trying to be pretentious in what heroism is about.
No, he was saying
Over
the
there,
character
you're
was supposed to be
strong,
perfect.
you can do whatever the fuck you want. The end. There's no debate.
Well, I mean, and the thing about Fist of the North Star, it's like when we were talking about that, we were talking more about like comparing that to light novel battle hymns, where he just starts off the strongest and doesn't try to come up. The story doesn't try to come up with a
there's
pretentious.
no
Not
hurry.
true, because freaking Kenshiro, while at one, is not really the strongest.
He's one of the strongest,
He
but it
was one
doesn't
of
try
the-
to. It
but-
doesn't try to. Yeah, it doesn't try to present him as an underdog or some shit.
By no way, he's not underdog. He's generally overpowered, like extremely, but he's not the strongest, because if he was the strongest, he wouldn't have needed to gone through every person and learn all the techniques, which also makes no sense, because the Hokuto Shinken's supposed to be the unbeatable technique, so why the fuck learn other techniques? Whatever.
Yeah, it's because he was not really the one chosen to be the successor. It was the white-haired guy, okay?
Yeah.
But that guy was injured, so he had to go to Kenshiro, which had an incomplete...
Actually, no. In the second season, wasn't it proven, or the second part, wasn't it supposed to be Kenshiro's actual blood-related brother, who's supposed to be the heavenly chosen successor, but...
Not Raoh, but Raoh.
Raoh.
No,
No, that-
not Raoh, the other guy. There was
Yeah.
another guy in
Kao.
Who?
Kao was the brother of Raoh,
Yeah.
and Raoh thought he was the actual successor, but no,
Yeah,
it
no.
was
There
actually
was
Toki.
another guy. You know, the guy that Kaio had a grudge against because he was like the chosen.
Oh, him.
Yeah, the guy who's actually Kenshiro's blood-related brother that he got separated from when they left that land or whatever. He was supposedly supposed to be the genuine chosen successor, but but apparently
Never happened because they never left that goddamn Shura place. So
All right,
the
Snob.
second season is generally us pulling out of crap. So it's hard
Snob,
to
what's
take
your
it seriously.
opinion on Psychopaths?
Psychopaths. Oh boy. That is the definition of pretentiousness because basically every single conflict in every single episode, because we're not going to talk about an ongoing plot, it's just episodic, comes down to, oh, we cannot really scam this guy to tell if he's a criminal. Oh no. So yeah, basically every single conflict comes down to, we missed the spot. It's a blind spot. We can actually measure someone's, here we go, again with power levels.
Right.
What was it called? The criminal efficiency or something? Coefficiency. So it basically comes down to this. Okay, we have blind spots. We didn't bother to put every single goddamn door with a scanner, so this would never happen. And from there on, we just have pretentious dialogues, which are coming down to, we have this super duper technology, which can do all this crap about holograms and robots and making you shoot stuff and giving you drugs, but we cannot just place a simple camera under every door or some nonsense. See, the pretentious is right there.
The whole thing with the civil system itself is just a representative of the judicial system and how it works.
Not really.
But in every single episode of the show is basically a different philosopher's take on the idea of justice.
Exactly, and it contradicts itself again and again and again and again.
Yeah,
and
different views on different justice. It doesn't make it contradictory because different people have different views on something. That doesn't make it a contradiction. It means that people don't know the answer to something.
It sounds
Therefore,
like
the society is bullshit.
Sounds like a fantasy utopia.
What?
The society is bullshit.
What's your opinion on what's Snob's
not have a society based on speculations.
What's Snob's opinion on
listen. Ancient civilizations were based on emperors and kings. Whatever they wanted, they were getting it. They were the justice. They were the ones telling the truth.
Right.
Does that make whatever the religion says in its dogma, that's what's going on. Specific stuff. When they disagreed with somebody, we had wars, we had heresies, we had the Crusades, whatever. We always had a struggle. We always had a conflict. And it was solved outside of it. They were separating themselves into left and right, different fields. They were still clear what they were fighting for. The Crusades knew what they were fighting for in the same way the Jihad knew what it was fighting for. There were no... you could argue.
You have to argue why did these new groups emerge. It's because they didn't agree with the different forms of justice or the different levels of poverty at the time.
No, it was not different. It was more like
it's not. This isn't a world where one person says how everything works. You have nuances between people, and that normally goes into forming a society.
No, not a society. Forming different groups within a society, which led to different societies.
Right. So, are you saying
when
because
we have every individual with a completely different view of what justice is, you wouldn't have a society because each basically family would be its own city-state sort of stuff. Here's a simple example: Gravity Girl wants to be a hero just to make money. Why is she just being a villain? She can steal a bank. The end.
Well,
yeah, but
then she can get caught and.
She might get caught, or she might not get caught.
With a freaking quirk like gravity versus something like fucking All Might.
Some safe, I don't know, something like that. You can do 1,000 things with it. No, that's besides the point.
Are you gonna
can do 1,000. Yes, I did. But you could do 1,000 things with gravity. But the fact about that is she's not all that good with her quirk. It's like if she was gonna face someone like All Might, she'd be fucked instantly. Both.
Thank you. Everyone would be fucked if you faced All Might. Not really an option.
Well, if you look at the majority of the heroes, she would not face well against them. Like the only reason she held her. The only reason she held her.
Who trains the villains?
No, what I was trying to say is
themselves, probably.
There were many powerful villains out there. We all know that already. Let's not pretend they're not. And they somehow learn how to use their powers, and they're not getting caught or whatever. So you can see how it's not exactly an excuse not to go to the academy so she'll know how to use her powers. She can stay underground, find maybe other villains, and train there.
What I'm saying is her quirk.
I can post the same question.
Take them.
What I'm trying to say.
What prevents her? What's the moral code of not stealing the money she needs right now? Not in 10 years when she gets her diploma, whatever.
Snob, I can pose the same question to you now. Why don't you just learn how to hack systems and steal money from banks?
Why would I do that? I don't need that much money.
Why would she do it?
Is it the sequel to Tatami Galaxy?
Oh, boy.
I mean,
I don't do it because I find no purpose in doing it. I don't need that much money.
what if you don't need that much money and just take Digibro's Patreon?
So, Snob, what's your opinion on tokusatsu shows like the Metal Heroes, Kamen Rider, and Super Sentai?
Well, that was a sudden change of the question of what's going
Well,
on
because
here.
the unknown otaku pretty much brings up Digibro, so why not the fuck? Why shouldn't I fucking ask it?
Okay, what about it? For kids, it's the older ones were very depressing and dark and violent, and then
Okay,
they became
so
toy
specifically, then
advertisements.
what would be your favorite older tokusatsu shows?
My first one, obviously, it's usually the first one. Bioman was my first one. And
Have
I
you ever
loved it.
seen the Space Sheriff series?
Gaban. We only had 10 episodes. Then I watched the rest, and it's like, oh, it turns out it's not as complicated as I thought. Because it had only one hero. One hero doing cool shit can only get that interesting for X amount of episodes before you get
do-
bored of the goddamn repeated stock footage. But if you have a team of superheroes, like, Super Sentai, 5 or 6, and a team of different villains, then it's much harder to get bored of it. I mean, yes, eventually 50 episodes per season is always getting stale after a point on. So they need power-ups or something to flavor it, or new villains or new heroes. The Sixth Ranger, it's all the tropes there. So it's a lot harder to get bored of a Super Sentai that is on Metal Heroes, which is, from what I know, always one or two heroes. So it gets very stale.
Well, I mean, in some cases, yeah. I think B Fighter was a little bit different. It was more like Super Sentai where they were color coded. That's what they got Beetleborgs from. And in the second one, B Fighter Kabuto, I think they had like 5 or 6 fucking different like heroes.
So it seems like the chat's wanting to know your take on Devilman Crybaby.
Didn't he already make a video on that?
Yes, I did. End of discussion.
Okay, chat, if you want to see it after this, go see his Devilman Crybaby.
Okay. Yeah.
Devil
So,
Man.
Lessons from the past, #1, by the way. It's not really an overview.
Oh, okay.
in
Like 5 months
the
ago.
have you the thing about like a Space Sheriff series, I think one of the only reasons why it got I think one of the reasons it got popular was probably because around episode 17, I think, or 18, they started using more often this special theme song that would play whenever you would use the laser blade. Because it was a pretty good song. It was well received, the music, which they
I want to know about it.
Yeah, basically, I think that when I was watching Gavin, though, it was really weird. It was really inconsistent because the stock footage showed two different. The stock footage of when he activates the sword shows a different blade than what he actually uses sometimes, right? And I don't know what was wrong with them, but so in terms of that's Metal Heroes. What about Kamen Rider? What's your opinion on that?
First of all the shows were basically the same thing. They had absolutely no complexity to them. It was literally enemy of the week with pretty much the same setup. No matter what the villain was doing for 20 minutes, doesn't really matter.
Isn't that the tokusatsu formula, though?
Yes, but you had lots of characters which were interacting with each other and some form of a build-up amongst the animosity of the different villains. So it was a lot harder to get bored of that. Plus, there was no final fight with giant robots in Kamen Rider. Yes, it's filler. Last 5 minutes were always filler fights. You didn't really need the giant robots fighting each other when you already defeated the monster. But no, then it was becoming bigger and you defeated it again, which is bullshit.
All right.
But it was making it fun. So it was a lot harder to get bored of it.
All right, let's move on to unknowns. I'm not going to talk about My Hero anymore.
Finally!
The chat is really hating the My Hero Academia debate. So
Why?
It carries on for too long, I guess.
Yeah,
carried
it
on.
was. Because
It's not my fault. You guys want to persist on that, the nuance, and I'm wrong.
I
and
don't
let me
care
prove
about
wrong.
philosophy. So
Yeah.
You're always
Most of the people in the chat also agree that you're wrong, Snob. So
They're all plebs.
they're all that.
Psychopaths is fun.
I guess it doesn't really matter.
Said that some years back, and I'm right.
I mean, I don't know. I guess he could argue, though, that popular opinion doesn't mean shit because people used to popularly think that the earth was flat, but whatever.
No, they
Yeah,
didn't.
popular opinion used to be Sword Art Online used to be a masterpiece in the first
Kaiser,
arc.
that
Everybody
was
hates it.
that was a fake thing they taught you in school.
No, it's not a fake thing. They actually believed it. There were 2 million new anime users, anime watchers going in the
No,
forums.
what I was saying
allowed-
was the
Yeah,
Earth
the-
was flat argument. You,
yeah, at the time of Columbus, it had been well documented already.
No,
who
even
cares about
before
the Earth
then.
being flat?
freaking
Jesus
Egypt-
Christ.
Time of Columbus,
Even
only the Arabs
Oh
were
my
using
fucking
B as the
God.
north.
no, even the Egyptians knew the Earth was round.
Who
Yeah.
cares? We already
Ancient
know that the
Greeks
Earth
knew
was
that
round
through
by
us.
degree.
The
No.
Egyptians found out it was
No.
round.
Why the fuck are you guys talking about the Earth being flat?
That's
fucking.
Because it makes more sense than heroism in My Hero Academia.
You guys goes from let's talk about an abstract concept to let's talk about why the Earth is flat, and it's like who cares?
You know, anyone that
Now
says
you know why I no longer go into chats like this.
No.
I brought it up. I brought it up.
Christ,
I
guys.
brought it up.
4 minutes of my videos tell you more than 2 hours of this bullshit.
I mean,
No
I brought
shit.
it. I brought it up, but they continue.
Why?
The whole thing.
no,
Yeah,
anyone,
both of you are fucking morons.
anyone that says the Earth is flat is racist.
Who cares?
Oh my god.
The Discworld books are very fun. Gotcha
Christ.
there.
All right.
Uh-huh.
So about the Naruto thing,
Fucking Earth. Holy shit.
about Zabuza versus Kakashi, the first fight, why it's bad.
Oh God.
And my
Why
reasoning
is
for
it
why it's bad is because it's completely inconsistent with how Kakashi fights in every other fight. You'll never see Kakashi just fight by copying their opponents. Now, I understand that the whole fight was just to explain how the Sharingan works, but if you have to completely change your character just to explain how something works, that's terrible writing. You could easily explain the Sharingan without changing how Kakashi fights. Yes, he was called the copy ninja, but he's never done the same thing ever. And it feels like he's just
When
called
was the second time he fought after Zabuza?
the second time he
He
fought
did.
after Zabuza.
Yeah, did you use the exact same thing?
No, he did.
Also, here's.
What
also,
I remember,
here's-
it was against Itachi, wasn't it?
No, he used the Sharingan. He wasn't copying his jutsus. Like
Also, yeah, he did use it. With
no, I'm
Itachi.
saying he's using the Sharingan, but he's not copying everyone's jutsu. So when I'm saying
Why? Basically, what you're saying is why make him be known as the copy ninja if he's only going to copy everybody's move one time?
no, if he's just going to copy
He-
one fight.
Yeah, that's
Literally,
why I just said.
one
That's why I
fight
mean.
in the whole series never happens again.
Okay, well, okay. Here's a counterpoint to that. That doesn't prove that the fight is bad. It just proves that the entire fucking story is inconsistent and bad. You haven't
Yeah,
proven
no.
that the fight itself is bad.
Yeah, the whole show has been terrible from the beginning.
Like you haven't really.
Let's be honest.
explained
But
how
let's
it's
be honest.
bad.
If,
Just say
if
that one aspect is not communicated to the
All
rest of the show. That's
yeah,
nothing
guys,
about the
let's
fight.
be honest about something, though. Let's be honest about something.
I wanna
The
die.
Zabuza fight was the first big fight in Naruto, and All Might versus Nomu was the first big fight in My Hero Academia. Which one was the better fight?
The Nomu.
That depends.
Fuck
If
you.
we're ending it right then and there, then probably the Naruto one. Because, whatchamacallit it, it's bad just because it's completely inconsistent with all the rest of the fights.
Oh, really? Okay, let's see now. First fight with Nomu. Oh, no, my 100% power is not enough. I need to go beyond that. And then he fights all for one and said, oh, no, my 100% power is not enough. I need to go beyond. Yeah, totally not inconsistent. If we take into account later.
What are you talking about being inconsistent? Freaking All Might went past 100%, and then Deku goes past 100%. That doesn't seem inconsistent.
Also, the actual fight with Nomu was basically exchanging punches until he went over 100%. Wow, that's the entire strategy, guys. And everybody was hyping that battle is like the most amazing thing of the year. What are you talking about?
Guys,
Yeah,
I don't know
Hearing
any,
was
I don't know
fun,
any
that's
fight that's smarter than just punching someone harder.
Oh, well, you could argue, I don't know. Maybe it's smarter because it's simpler. Maybe it's smart to be simple.
No, it's not smart to be simple. It's more direct to be simple.
Okay. Well, okay. That's
And even Fist of the North Star, which about guys
I mean,
punching each other,
Chibi might
strategy
argue.
half the time than
Chibi-
everything in My
no,
Hero
no,
Academia.
Here's the thing.
Just believe that.
Chibi might argue though that being direct is symbolic of being smart, man. It's my smartness symbolism.
Yeah, waving your arms with precision takes a lot of brains, man.
Yeah, it's so symbolic.
Here's a flower.
And you've got a flower, don't you?
All right. So I feel the need to point out that Naruto using the talk no jutsu to talk Zabuza out of letting them build the bridge is no different than any of the crap that they do throughout the series, because both sides are just ninjas for hire.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the first fight specifically.
I know. I'm just pointing out the whole problem with the Talk No Jutsu in general.
No, Math
Oh,
was
you
just
mean the Takuma
warning
Jutsu, which didn't work on Haku, and he had to murder him with his secret powers, and he felt shit about it?
No,
Hold on,
what
wait,
he calls it. Math
I'm
Wiz
just-
made a whole video about Talk No Jutsu and how every fight is Talk No Jutsu.
Talk
Oh, yeah.
Jutsu.
Yeah, there's-
Okay,
Excuse me, they explain their powers in the middle of a fight. There's always Talk No Jutsu in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's not what
he's-
Talk No Jutsu is. He's talking about him changing his enemies to his side.
Yeah, he
Because
literally.
it's an ideological fight, blah, blah, blah. And so did Deku with the fire and ice guy. What's his name?
Yeah,
Right.
every
What
single
I'm
fight
saying-
is an ideological fight in Naruto.
Yeah, and that's not the problem. It's what I'm saying is that the in conclusion of them beating Zabuza and convincing him doesn't really make much sense, because just like Zabuza, he's also a ninja for hire. And the only reason it's good for them this time is because they're the ones getting paid.
Well, yes, isn't it the fact that if you're not getting paid, all you're left with is your whatever pride you were left with? And Haku was already dead, I must point this out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but it was like.
So exactly thinking logically at
So
this point.
Yeah,
I
but,
was half dead.
but Haku was
So
a trap.
basically, it's more it's an ideology of feminist propaganda versus MGTOW, because MGTOW's one benefit out of being in a relationship with a woman. What's the point of not, if you're not getting paid? What's the point of doing something?
But dude, it makes sense to be a chop in a show about ninjas, which always disguise themselves.
Oh my
cool.
goodness.
That's so cool.
Mind blown.
All right, we're gonna
Mind
start
blown.
taking questions. Chat, if you have any questions, we'll be taking them now.
Is
It's,
this over yet?
it's a shame Necro's not here, because he told him to.
Yeah, I know, and he didn't pass on the questions. I saw one question saying, "Snob, when is your next book coming out?"
Oh boy.
Why do you care about my book? I mean, I have read this. I have almost completed the second one. It needs editing, and despite all the editing and doing the first one, you still complain about it. So it's not
All
gonna
right.
coming out anytime soon.
I've never.
Why don't you
complained
just get an
about it.
editor?
All right. So someone's
I paid
asking.
$800 and you still didn't like it, assholes.
Why don't you
All right.
just get a time machine, get the one from the future, and just copy it to here?
Oh, I just realized Digi also wrote a book. It all
He
makes
did?
sense. He wrote a visual novel. And
Actually,
he
he
also
also-
wrote, I mean, he kind of did it in like 2 days, but it's a piece of shit, but whatever. Like,
He
I
also
didn't.
wrote. He also wrote
And
that fucking
Scott
light
also
novel
wrote a
shit.
book.
The prophecy's coming
Mind
true.
blown.
It all makes
Did you see the
sense.
book? Did you see a guy making a video about the book saying many people are inspired about it and they are all making fan fictions and OCs and some bullshit like they're inspired, keep on making their own stories. Thanks to Gigi Bros bullshit today's story.
Yeah, no, Digi's
I
a fucking
remember
moron.
Anime
That's
Uproar
stupid.
did a live stream on your book.
Yeah, you were there with him on the live stream on the Rant Cafe stuff before.
Yeah, I remember. And he was basically the only one who actually read it because everybody else was like, duh, whatever.
I've never read it, but I've also never criticized it. If I haven't read it, why should I criticize it?
Actually, huh?
Do you
Hey, Snob.
you want us to read the book and then do a rant
Well,
on it?
I'll say this: at least you're not like a Misty Cronexia trying to turn his book into an anime.
Hey, if I get the book, the first thing I'm doing with that book is making a video saying it's my favorite book, even though I haven't read it yet.
Oh, my
That's my man.
So you're going to
favorite
Digi Bro.
Okay, guys, all you have to do is buy it from Amazon. It's only like $15 each. Ha ha ha.
Only like $15.
It's $15.
God damn it,
Dude,
Kevin.
that's $14 too much.
Is that like Greek money?
So,
Someone told me to make a weird noise.
Pet's new ass snob. Thoughts on The Night is Short, Walk On Girl. What's that?
The Tatami
I
sequel.
liked it because it's the Yuasa style. It's not trying to be pretentious, and that's pretty much it. Because there's nothing to talk
That's it.
about it. There's no deep narrative. There's no smarts or whatever. It's not Atomic Galaxy.
I've never heard of it.
And
So as long
it was the best. It was the best movie of its year, and it wasn't like Your Name, which wasn't from the same year. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It should have won the Crunchyroll Awards, which nobody even noticed because it wasn't about time resets and teenagers and grown
So okay, so I have a question then. What if the message of an anime wasn't something like, say, the stuff you see and whatever you don't like? What if it was more of a down to earth message that actually applies in real life?
Then it's slice of nothing happens and it's boring.
So basically, even if it's like a realistic message that actually applies to most people, you still find it pretentious.
No, don't find it pretentious if it has a deep message that it's not pretentious. Tatami Galaxy did not have a simple message and it wasn't pretentious. Don't confuse the two things, okay? Next question.
Thoughts.
All right, opinions on Rigatsu no
God
Line.
damn it. How low is your
Yo,
IQ?
like at the same time!
Okay, how long is
Snob,
what?
How low is your IQ? God damn it.
That's
Not as low as yours, whoever asked that.
Well, he is a trap, so.
low enough, right? We'll say that low enough.
Okay.
All right, opinion on Rigatsu no Line, or March Comes in Like a Lion.
I watched 2 episodes. It was fine. I dropped it. Next!
It was fine, but you dropped it.
Can I join
Yes,
the
because it was
debate?
nothing special.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
All
right.
What about you? Whoa, I'm trying my best here. What am I? Okay. What's your thoughts on Bakuno? I think he's done
Baku?
Bakuno.
Bakuno.
That's the one
Bakuno.
that's the one with the manga starring about the fucking
The
people
flying,
making manga
the
or
flying
whatever.
pussy.
No,
foot.
that's Bakuman.
No, Bakano.
Bakuno is the
Bakuno is
The
like
one with the train
yeah,
and the
flying
immortal
pussyfoot
people.
train where everyone's a
Yes.
fucking
people that
immortal.
did the rah, 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 rah.
Yes. Controversial opinion, that anime is overrated as fuck.
Agreed.
What? Which one?
Bakano.
Oh, Bakuno.
And the only reason that it's praised to high moon is because of the dub and
And his
like
fight.
and the the narrative is jumbled. Other than that, everyone's like, oh, it's so deep because everything's mingled. Oh, it's the beginning is the beginning, and the end is the
It's deep
beginning or
because
whatever.
No,
Yeah,
everyone's.
it's deep because-
It's like Pulp
it's-
Fiction.
but the-
How everyone fucking praises Pulp Fiction for being a jumbled story.
Exactly,
Basically-
jumbled story. That's it. But even
Shit.
Pulp Fiction at least says something. Bakano is just like boring shit that nothing matters. And then at the end, it's like, oh, the mafia, they didn't do anything. Nothing mattered. The immortals, who cares? It was just some alchemy demon, whatever.
So
And at the end,
basically,
it's like,
people praise it for being confusing.
I'd rather
Yes,
watch
that's
K-On!
literally it.
again.
and like the only thing that matters is like on the train, there's like a bunch of random shit that happens, which is cool. You know, immortals and people, mafia just shooting each other. That's cool. But
I get
everything
the-
outside the fucking train is boring shit. And like, there's one part where the main villain, his goal is to like become immortal, and he does nothing in the entire story, and then he gets killed.
I
Randomly.
get the feeling that Digibro
It's-
loves this.
The rah 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 is basically the exact same thing, but but it has more interesting characters. But by episode 12 or 13, it kind of goes off the deep end, and by episode 24, you just don't give a shit, and it focuses more on the kids. And I never watched season 2, so
I just noticed.
Yeah, the guy
so
who wrote
like, I would say that the rah 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 is like slightly more interesting, but it falls flatter more than Bakuno,
Stop.
because at least Bakuno is interesting at one specific point.
Wait a minute, Snob. I just noticed you never commented on any of the things I said about the Naruto fight.
Oh God!
And too bad we skipped that part. Going back.
It's
Okay.
okay.
Yes, thank you, God.
We don't have to. We can do it later.
We don't have to. Let's not do it. The author of Bakano and the Durarara is the definition of why you shouldn't always care only about the journey and not the destination, because he never had any destination. It's just a bunch of guys interacting with each other. They don't
Pretty
really have a goal. It doesn't go anywhere. It's just stuff happening at the same time. Yeah. And
Yeah,
the
pretty
example
much.
with Pulp Fiction, the movie, was a very good one because it had a message to say, whereas
Yes.
no message in
Yeah.
these stories.
That's pretty much what I said. But yes,
I agree with you.
I know. I'm just
What?
saying that.
No, stop copying me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm you from the future too. Oh,
Hey, Snob, how many visual novels did you read? And what?
No,
is your
dude. Okay,
favorite?
so basically, Rika Fag is the light side to Snob, and Snob is the dark side. You
no.
were
Yeah,
once one of the same person.
oh
Except
no!
Rika's clearly smart, but hey.
I don't know about that.
Rika still likes that bullshit thing they gave him to read him. He didn't like it.
That's so
Hey,
hilarious.
Rika, didn't you want
Hey,
to talk
stop.
about
How
it?
about this? I have a proposition for you, but it depends on what if you still have it. Do you still have the file of the reviews you made for Higurashi?
Yeah, I'll do videos of that.
Okay, so would you mind uploading them?
I would eventually do that.
Okay,
Yeah,
eventually, that's
because
fine.
he uploads them twice a day, a video twice a day.
Okay, fine, no problem. No, because the thing is that I just wanted to explain this. I'm not mad that you made them. I'm not mad that you hate them. I just disagree in how you read it and how you reviewed it, and I have no arguments about that. It just I want it on the internet because it's perfect and I love it.
Just every once in a while,
Yeah,
when
he read it.
Snob,
He read.
See, here's why Rika is being pretentious right now, because we agree
no.
on Durarara being aimless and nonsense and jabbled mess, which doesn't really mean anything. But at the same time, he loves Higurashi, which is 8 roots of complete speculations and mystery baits, which don't mean anything.
Yes, it does, and it's called fucking red herrings. And by the end, you find out the truth.
What about green
Trust me,
herrings?
Bullshit.
Pet. Trust me, Pet. You haven't watched his review. His review of Higurashi is literally that all the red herrings make no sense, and they were supposed to make sense. And it's like, did you even read it? It's completely
It's
fucking
8
maddening.
roots, 10 hours each, 80 hours of a game where 90% of it is harem bait, fan service,
Yes.
and red herrings, mystery
Yes.
baits, which are all fakes that
Yes.
don't mean anything. And the ending comes down to time travel, dimensional hopping, and aliens that are actually some sort of mystical force from the past.
That are also lollies.
Which is true. Yes, that's basically it. Yeah.
And he likes it.
So, okay. Question.
Still not wrong.
After 80 hours of this shit.
Yeah.
Snob, Snob,
thing
you.
See, the thing that you don't understand is that for all the red herrings, you're supposed to be fucking paranoid, and the parts with the harem, you're supposed to relate to the character. So when shit happens to them, when they die, you feel bad, but you never cared about it because you
They're
just saw it
alive
as
like in the next
harem
arc.
shit.
I don't
Shut
have.
up.
I don't,
That's your fucking problem with lack of empathy. It's not my fucking problem that the
Wait.
kids having fun with each other. You didn't give a fuck because you only saw it as harem shit.
I don't-
And when you saw the red
Doesn't
herrings, you were
harem
like,
shit.
"Oh no, I don't feel paranoid about all this conspiracy shit." And
How can I be paranoid when the show focuses on them being like sluts all the time?
They're not being sluts. They only joke about it like 5 or 6 times. You focus too much about it.
Times in 80 hours. Fuck you. It's more than 5 or 6
Oh,
times.
So Snob.
No.
I don't
It's not
disagree
just
that there's a lot of
replays it.
fucking lewd shit, but
Shut up, guy with a lolly
you
avatar.
literally called Higurashi a porn game. Don't give me that bullshit. And there was zero fucking hentai shit in it. It's literally just kids being lewd randomly, saying lewd shit, and then having fun, literally playing games. And then you're like, oh yeah, it's
They're not even
porn.
drawn beautifully.
At least it's not as bad as ThatAnimeSnob saying Fate is a porn game, and then
I mean, Fate is a
No, hold
porn
on,
game.
hold on.
so I'm not gonna go
Hold on,
into that.
hold on.
No, it is a
Hold
porn
on, hold on.
game.
And then
No, Fate is a porn
YouTube
game.
agrees by taking down his channel.
Oof.
So, question.
Yeah, but the naked Saroko is different. That's
Since
different.
you have played visual novels, that makes me wonder: do you also play video games in general?
I used to. Now I'm just watching playthroughs of them. I'm not looking at them.
So you have no opinions on E E3.
Just say Snob. You have the.
I didn't even watch E3. I just watched a guy talking about the new Cyberpunk thing coming out. And it's like, whoa, that's my kind of game.
I gotta say, Snob, you have the ultimate proof that Fate is porn because YouTube will deny it.
Actually, Snob, hey, would you be interested in reading another visual novel?
Oh, no. I'm done with it. It's not worth the
How
effort.
about
It's
the
just Heaven's
sequel
Feel.
to Higurashi?
Unknown. Everyone's telling me that you sent the wrong link.
I did.
What link?
Oh, whoops.
What link?
The link to the Hangout or whatever. Doesn't matter. So Snob, would you be interested in
Try
reading
that.
the sequel
I'm a man
to
of plot.
Higurashi?
He doesn't
Yes.
care
I'm
a
about
man of
plot.
plot.
He just wants cool action scenes.
No, he wants consistency. Yeah, so would you
I
be
want
interested
both
in
men
that's-
punching
reading
each other in the
Higurashi?
face without lasting 80 hours of soft porn.
Rick effect.
Okay.
He wants consistency. That's why I brought that thing up in the debate about Kakashi and his inconsistent fighting.
Well,
But whatever.
It's
Well,
inconsistently consistent.
but I would. Okay, yeah, but would you be interested in reading Higurashi?
No. I'm done with visual novels.
What if I paid you? What if I paid you to do it?
$50.
Yeah, $50.
No, it's no longer about money. The amount of hours I spent reading that horse shit,
I broke. I feel.
I'm becoming paranoid just by playing those 3 or 4 visual novels I was paid to do it. Thank you. You succeeded in making me more paranoid than I already was with those fucking ridiculous dialogues. 50 hours of info dumps just to be proven wrong. You read 5 hours of how magic works in Fate Stay Night. It's contradicted. You read what's going on in the story of Higurashi. It's contradicted. It's
So
a version. Is it that coming?
So basically, that's where your attention span ends, right?
You spend 5 hours trying to understand something, then they tell you, no, it's all a lie. Excuse me, how is that good storytelling?
It's called red herring, and if you read more mysteries, you'd know that's the point.
You're saying that there was a lot of red herring in Sherlock Holmes?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
There actually are.
Are
a
you
few.
insane? Have you actually read mysteries and detective fiction? It's full of red herrings everywhere. That's kind of the genre.
All right.
Like the point of Higurashi is that
More
you
like-
think something,
More like
and then you
speculating.
believe
They're
it.
speculating. It's not really about red herring. It's speculating.
All right.
It's not speculating. It's see the thing with the. I'm eventually going to make a video on Higurashi and why it's great. But the point is that it makes you think that. Yeah. Shut up.
It
You'll-
Makes you
no,
think
no.
that time travel makes sense.
I'm laughing at the chat.
Okay. The time travel is just magic and alien magic. You don't have to explain that shit.
Okay.
But the point is that it's just a method.
Any sense of mystery is ruined when you have supernatural elements. The end.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but it's still
Plain
about
logic.
who killed
Therefore, it
anything.
doesn't make any sense no matter what the answer is.
Yeah.
The end.
The
Well, no, because the mystery is still about who killed what. The magic is just to give a reset and to figure out who killed the person. It's like being
Alright.
your own detective.
Yeah.
It
We already,
has
we
nothing
already,
to do.
we already know
like,
that.
the magic is not being used to discover the
Yeah,
culprit.
it's not as
just
if
a
it's the
method
magic
to
that makes
reset.
them mad or anything.
All right.
Okay,
So
no.
But
It's
we
not-
already,
and
but we
they
already,
get-
but we-
no.
but we
let me
already
add to
know,
this
though. We
discussion
already
a bit. So
Wait.
The-
We already know
Okay.
that
Every
Snob
time-
doesn't like research,
I'm not gonna
right?
use bullshit.
Hey, that's all I hear him right now.
all right. So what I was going to say is, I have a tattered history with mystery stories to the point where I stopped watching them because I watched so many mystery sitcoms I could guess the entire episode plot beats from for the
Anime.
entire season
I still
of
think you
mystery.
just watched the anime and you just remember the
No,
anime. You only
I haven't
read.
watched Higurashi
No,
at
no,
all.
not you. I'm talking about Snob. I swear to God, because I know you watched the anime before reading the visual novel, so you probably just remember the anime and you were like, yeah, the anime
I
shit.
mean, that's why the anime is so
But-
brilliant.
Like I still like question whether or not you read the finale of Higurashi, but whatever.
Me and Snob.
But what I was going
one day.
what I was going to say is that
No, Snob.
Yeah.
when it comes to mysteries, there is a standard. I think it's called the golden mystery standard, where they have things where they say you shouldn't have
Oh yeah, the Knox rule.
mysteries. That yes, where you're not supposed to have anything of supernatural origin. But see, if you set up anything supernatural as something that you can logically deduce throughout the story as a rule of that universe or world, it doesn't interfere with the mystery of the show because it's still something you can guess and work around the logic of to predict the ending, which is half the fun of mystery novels themselves, is guessing the ending and trying to
Yeah, but
figure
that's-
it out
See,
along
that's
the
the
way.
thing. Yeah, but that's the thing. Using the golden rules. The golden rules specifically state that
Right one?
magic cannot be used as a detective tool.
Hey, Kevin's
Oh,
here.
finally,
So
Jesus
for example, in
Christ.
Higurashi, magic is not used as a method of understanding or figuring out who is the culprit.
Right.
Just as a method of resetting,
exactly.
trying to figure out again who did
Right,
what
because
and why.
so
it
the
happened.
whole thing about the magic
again,
not being
it's not the magic
used as a it's not, it's because the thing with the magic is that you don't have knowledge coming from nowhere as a BS form of storytelling to begin with. So
All right.
So our local trap is here.
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
thanks for jumping
Otaku,
in.
you gave the wrong link 6 times.
I don't know what happened. I literally
I
copied
can-
and pasted.
I kept joining a different
we have
call
the
every
He doesn't
time.
have many subscribers, so he doesn't have much power to have much responsibility. Get it? Aha.
Oh,
Yeah, we have Kevin of the professor of trapology here, and we have Bio Mecha.
so I literally had to.
I'm the
put an invite.
biomechanical life form. Don't lord me with your
Actually,
organic
I think I know
privilege, you
why
pleb.
the invite wasn't working. I think the invite because
Yeah.
one time during the stream I actually DC'd and I fucking had to re-enter the fucking chat.
Yeah.
Hi, Snob. Hi, Rika.
I don't even know if y'all noticed that. I fucking DC'd for a good like minute and a half.
I can't stay for long because it's like 10 o'clock and I've got to go to bed, so I'm going to stay for like an hour.
You gotta go to bed. Well, what are you in high school?
Okay, Snob. So
I live in New Zealand.
They said they want to know your take on the philosophy of futas.
Oh boy.
Fuck.
No. That's not what he says. The thing, it's another visual novel called Tsubahibi, and it's pretentious. Shit.
I've actually played that game.
Oh well, my opinion is that it's pretentious shit that tries to be deep and says nothing, and it's shit.
Speaking of food,
my thoughts on it is basically it's good for suspense, but anything else, it's a little bit pretentious. Like I'm actually part of this like visual novel book club, and I'm part of like part 2 of that fucking recording.
Now, Pet Snooze literally asked,
and also,
what's the philosophy of
speaking of
no. He's saying the thing is that Tsubahibi has Fuda and philosophies.
Shouldn't you get retro chocolate here for that?
Yeah,
It also has gay shit, cocaine, orgies, incest, etc.
Yeah, but the problem with Tsubahibi is that the mystery, like, there's good suspense with the mystery, but the answer itself is just fucking terrible.
So
like
basically,
the whole, like, I'm gonna spoil it right now. Like the whole mystery of it's split personality disorder.
And
like,
even that is
like
ruined. Like at the end, it's like, oh no, it's not split personalities. It's this guy that got punched when he was a kid, and he absorbed the personality of this other kid that was like doing evil shit. And it's like, no,
how does that work?
Stupid.
It's funny. When I actually first played the game, I thought it was like urban fantasy powers, like metaphysic powers that they're gaining by getting a new philosophy.
Wait a minute, that kind of reminds
the
me.
entire time.
Rika?
Do you remember the cut content in Heavy Rain? Like you might spoilers for Heavy Rain.
Rika, take this note.
I do. I haven't played the game yet.
Shit, never mind. I was about to say something.
What?
Rika, take this note. One day, I'm gonna watch Higurashi again, and you'll
don't watch it
on your Higurashi.
Read Higurashi.
No, we're gonna debate on which one.
Unknown Otaku. I have 2 seasons of it on a hard drive. Do you want me to link them to you?
No,
read it.
No,
read it so Snob can be proven wrong.
No,
I still argue that Snob is the only.
Have fun.
You're the only person I've ever met that misunderstood Higurashi, and that
you must be a really lonely person.
Yeah, you are. It is ridiculous.
Stop. Are you lonely?
Not with you around.
Oh.
I mean, Mr. Cynical, can you just admit that Snob is just much more intelligent than you?
You know, there's
Burn.
one thing. Okay, stop.
No comment.
Okay,
no comment.
Stop.
Excuse me for not enjoying a show, whatever story that's 80 hours long and consists mostly of bullshit.
Hey, Snob, I want.
Can you see that sound reasoning?
One day, Snob, I want to try to invite Chibi, and I want you to be in the call, but you on like a different account, and don't talk for like 20 minutes. And
why?
Where's the fun if he doesn't talk on Otaku?
Yeah.
20 minutes.
You might as well not have it at all.
Surprise. That's what it's supposed to be. It's a surprise, and then instantly you're going to find that Chibi blocked you or some shit.
And then this will be it. After Chibi gets all of his things out and is like, all right, Chibi. Now, the other guest, he just DM'd me saying he's back. I'm going to introduce him. Don't worry. Y'all can have your little talk that you presented long ago, saying you want to have an open discussion. Here's ThatAnimeSnob.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then he fucks off immediately.
He fucks off and
he runs back to his fucking mountain retreat because he fucking lives out in the mountains. He's the abominable snow chibi. Hey kids, want to read Tokyo Ghoul with me?
It's good because it's edgy.
No, they cannot read Tokyo Ghoul with him because it ends in 2 chapters and like 2,000 people will commit suicide when that happens. And before you know it, people will start saying, "Oh, it was never good because now it ended and he didn't answer all the things."
Snob, would you be up to something like that if I ever invited him?
Just a scorn.
Sure, as long as he doesn't watch this video and he says, "Oh no, I'm prepared for it," or any of the don't do it. It's a trap. It's a trap. Anyway, I'm not talking about the anime trap. It's an actual trap.
Yeah, not the good kind.
Is there any other kind of trap?
No. Here's what you gotta do. What you have to do. Really a trap. Here's what you have to do. What you have to do though first, you gotta get Chibi in the mood though. You gotta get him to do his typical.
So close the trigger. If I'm getting you right, that anime snob has to do foreplay with Chiba reviews.
No. Basically, what
He's got to get him into the mood. That's your exact words.
He's got to get him into the mood.
You gotta
to
fill
even
him
talk
up.
to begin with. You gotta get him. You got to play it right so he can be in character.
That's
okay,
why
so
I get him to interview him for like 20 minutes.
yeah,
That is why I.
20.
You're talking about
Okay,
why.
so
why
if
this one
I'm
anime is
getting
great.
this right, Unknown Otaku and that anime snob are going to try and seduce Chibi Reviews.
No, because it's going to
I am
be.
They're gonna try
shuddering
to
at the
fill him
thought
up.
right now.
No,
Try
because it's going to be
God, I
me,
might as well
Necro.
play another visual novel with all this.
You gotta get Chibi.
Hey,
You gotta
we
get
did it. We
Chibi.
got him. Wait, him and Neko.
You
You have
gotta
to take the right
keep.
route with this.
He has to make sure that Chibi's attention span can last long enough for 20 minutes.
Okay, fine.
You can mention flowers. That usually helps.
Yeah,
No,
just talk about Darling in the Franxx.
Well, maybe we talk about Tokyo Ghoul. That'll keep his attention for a while.
Darling in the Franxx. No, Darling in the
We'll
Franxx.
talk about the
Don't worry,
meta humor and having a
I've got
podcast
folders of
of
Tokyo Ghoul
Anitubers.
memes. Just invite me into the stream and I'll keep them entertained.
Snob, your opinion on Darling in the Franxx?
I made a video on it. It's shit.
It's the best
No.
anime
I
ever.
call Darling in the Franxx, Darling in the
I'm just
Sex
joking.
memes. I mean, there's literally like an episode
Darling
where
in
it's
the
like,
stole
it feels good
everything I
inside you.
had.
At least you're in
Wait,
agreement
Snob,
with everyone
I was
here on
because
that
I hadn't
show.
watched your video. I was just curious, like, why don't you like
Who
Darling in the Franxx?
seriously thought this would be a good show after the first episode?
Chibi Reviews.
Chibi Review.
Yeah.
Plot.
Chibi Reviews identifies not with the main character, but with the fat fucking kid.
No.
The cuck.
Chibi
That-
identifies with the
yeah,
fucking
because
bird.
Chibi is secretly an incel.
No, Chibi identifies with the fucking
Dude.
bird.
Dude, who the fuck thinks Chibi isn't an incel?
He's not even by choice.
Wait,
Yeah. He's not
Yeah,
even by
because he lives
choice.
out in the fucking mountains. You're never gonna get pussy if you live out in the fucking mountains like a
I
homeless
could have
dude.
Well,
sworn,
I mean,
I
you-
could have
you could've-
sworn
you probably-
he had
probably-
some, like, girlfriend or something. I could have sworn.
Yeah, a fucking body pillow of that fucking
Yeah.
girl from No Game No Life.
Oh my god.
Listen, the only girl he ever has in his life is Hollow from Spice and Wolf.
Well, no, he has a body pillow of that lolly from No Game No Life. That's for sure.
And
Oh, fuck.
Ooh,
Holy
yikes.
Spice and Wolf is a good show, so.
So is the light
So
novel.
sad.
It's one of the
Because
few
it's
light
a lot
novels that
about
isn't
economy.
trash.
so is
Go
No
watch
Game, No Life.
Anime.
No Game, No Life is
No.
a good show.
No game, no life.
Spice and Wolf is
Oh.
about the free market economy.
Oh no.
No Game, No Life is a good show.
Well, it's entertaining
Wow.
at least.
Don't you see the title? No Life? Yeah, it's a really entertaining show.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
If you have no
why
life.
we watch anime. We have no fucking life.
So why is
Yeah,
it called
exactly.
No
We're just a
Game,
bunch of
No
random
Life?
autists
If the
on the
guys
internet
play
talking
video
and
games,
debating
they
about
still have
Japanese
no life.
cartoons.
See, the contradictory thing about No Game, No Life is they're still playing games, but they also still have no life.
No, they're not playing any games.
Aren't they
Ooh,
like
they're
royalty in that
They're
world? Like they're
inside
the
a
king and
world.
queen of the
They're
human
not
nation?
actually playing games.
Of most nations, I think, by the end of the season.
Into season 1, he
Yeah,
only
it's like
captured,
the
two nations.
Sengoku. It's like the Sengoku Jidai of Japan, except it's sold with video games. We are the human clan, and we're gonna
Oh,
conquer
actually, that
the
reminds me.
fairy
I
clan
mean, they
because
literally get
fans
into
don't
a
like
lie with
fluffy
God
tails.
over chess.
So I've never heard this. I don't think I've heard this before. But Snob, what's your opinion on the world God only knows?
I hate season 3.
Did you really need to go through like
What?
20 arcs of repetitive nonsense, which is parody of date sims, before you get to the actual deconstruction at the end, where they realize, "Hey, you've been an exploited bastard." It's something like School Days, but instead of 12 episodes, it lasts 112 episodes, and it gets really boring by that. Okay.
It's only like
Yeah, the
Anime-
thing of like the world God only knows is it only gets good towards the end. Like it feels like the rest of it feels like just padding or building up.
I feel like the comedy
build-up
makes
is not
up
as
for that
interesting as they
arcs,
make it,
though.
though. It's just making fun of date simulations, and it can get that far
It's a
before it starts to get
deconstruction.
boring. Especially when they don't pull
Wait,
the
did someone say
usual harem
deconstruction? Now
excuse.
it's a subversion of the popular deconstruction, which was a deconstruction of the
see,
popular
see.
subversion, which was a deconstruction.
Blah 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 blah. blah.
What about the?
The thing that actually ruins this parody is that they always give amnesia to the girl at the end of each arc, which is the ultimate fuck you, I kiss you, it's which the same thing as for Attack 7, I hate just at sex, and then I give you amnesia so you won't even remember it. How exploitive is that? And you all
season
do it
3
because
has
That's the
them all
point.
get their
If you
memory
didn't give
back.
them amnesia, it would just go fucking school
Well,
days
not
on his
all,
ass.
Not all, but a good amount of them.
this is where actual consequences would exist if they didn't have amnesia, but no, they had to stall it. They had to stall it for
Yeah,
like
basically,
I don't know how many episodes.
around
I'm
the season.
surprised he didn't just rape them and then have their memory go away.
Yeah.
The only
Well,
ones
then
that
it'll be
get
a
their
10
memories
through the
back,
show.
the only ones who get their memories back are the ones who have those goddesses in them or whatever.
Yeah.
But actually, they never
Plot
lost their
twist. They
memories for
just funny
whatever.
plot twist. They still don't care, and they're still fighting for it as a fiction.
And then there's the plot twist with the person that didn't have a goddess in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so obvious.
It was hilarious. The show's funny. It's not.
Oh,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
It's not
Like, there were
well
some
written,
parts
but
where it
it's
made me
Yeah, it's pretty
laugh.
funny.
It's entertaining.
You
It's
don't
entertaining.
know who I
There you go.
am?
It's entertaining.
Why don't you know
It's
who
not-
I am?
That makes it what 5 out of 10 at best.
It's not brilliant, but it's hilarious.
It's basically what
I
like,
gave
It's
the
not a
manga
so
6 out of
masterpiece.
10.
It's not
So
a
there's a
masterpiece.
there's proof that Digibro and Snob are the same person. He said that about Chivalry of a Failed Knight. It's a 5 out of 10. I'm not saying it's a 9 out of 10 or either. It's a strong 5 out of 10. There you go. Same quote.
Well,
You
maybe
are-
Snob and Digivo are somehow related.
No, they're the same
No,
person.
no,
same
this is
person,
actually
they have to
this
be
is the real
related.
fan fiction.
They're literally
The
just
anime
different
snob is a
versions of the same.
Terminator sent by Skynet, and he's actually and the disguise he uses, or the flesh thing, is actually Snob
Kaiser,
from
yeah.
is Digibro from the future.
Good. Now we can talk about him behind his back.
Yeah, good.
You want me to leave so you can start stabbing me
No.
all you want?
Wait,
Sorry,
Snob, I have
there's-
one quick question.
Damn it, Kaiser.
How many times have
Kaiser, why'd you come back? We're about to throw you under the bus.
Yeah, that's right.
Then I can reincarnate in some different world when I'm gonna be the Harem Master or some shit. And I'm gonna go over.
So Snob, I had a quick question
Yeah,
for you.
from that anime snob to most overpowered bland MC. Now, that's one light novel I'll never fucking read.
I will say Snob is probably the most interesting
Oh, you have to call
animator
again.
out there.
Thank you. Keep going. Don't stop.
Just like, it's just more like, just trying to figure out how you think. It's just one thing I've always like seen just so strange that I don't see in any other YouTuber.
Unknown Otaku, I need you to ask you a quick question.
Okay,
When are you going to stop deep throating Snob?
I'm not deep-throating. Just because I say he's unique and interesting, that's not necessarily a good thing.
It kind of
Better
sounds
than
like
all
it.
of you.
I mean, who's to say we're not all unique?
Me.
Individualism.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, you know.
I mean, freaking Maname Matt's just a ripoff of Mother's Basement, except he cares even less.
And Mother's Basement is a ripoff of Digibro. Let's not kid ourselves.
This is
No, Mother's Basement is like Digibro if he was retarded and he shills more.
No, Mother's Basement is Digibro if Digibro didn't turn his back on feminism.
Oh god.
yeah. It's more like if Digi had even less standards.
Wait, Digibro had standards?
No.
Yeah.
Let's see
Well, I
what
mean,
he'll do to his sex
he's-
bot and
he's-
his girlfriend. If he shields her
Well,
on
I mean,
Patreon, then he's
you
gonna
could-
be like Mother's Basement.
You could tell that Mother's Basement cares more about money than feminism.
No.
Of
Yes,
course he cares
does.
about money.
He cares about money,
It's what fuels his lifestyle.
but he cares about his ideologies more.
Yeah, but I think his ideology starts turning his like financial gain. He'll immediately drop it.
Nah, whatchamacallit, it's that's why in his reviews he whatchamacallit, he will eventually mention feminism and how like freaking it's like the good thing and communism's the only way to go and fucking
Where?
Wait, I haven't watched
Unknown
his recent
Otaku,
stuff.
you've just won a free helicopter ride. Would you like to collect?
No, fuck you.
Does he actually say that shit about communism?
Where?
'Cause I haven't watched. his
Literally,
recent
where does
shit.
he say it's
It's
that
not
communism?
communism.
yeah.
He does free he does universal income. He talks about universal income.
Oh, that's different.
It's,
Okay, hold on a sec.
It's
Hold on.
close.
Oh,
what's
thank
going on?
God, I thought he was a commie.
I had a fucking glitch there. What were you talking about now? Communism? Who?
universal
No.
income. That about mother,
Yeah, but
It's
who?
not-
Who are you
mother's,
talking? Who says this shit?
mother's basement.
All the
Oh,
time.
okay, yeah.
Oh.
And he says something about feminism. What?
He promotes
Oh, yeah.
feminism inside his fucking things. He always looks at it from like a feminist point of view. That
Okay, so
course
he's
he does.
just like Digibro then. Okay.
no, freaking at least Digibro will I don't even think he does say about
I mean, I
feminism.
argue, like, I made a video saying that Digibro has the exact same opinions as feminists regarding
the fan
Yeah.
service. Yeah.
the fan service. Because
Digibro did say in one of his videos where he's like, "I look at stuff through a feminist lens or some
Yeah,
shit."
the thing here's the
Ugh.
thing. Like that was that one video. Mother's Basement does it in almost every video.
Like I don't watch Mother's Basement, so like okay.
I've only watched a few of his like OP stuff, and I feel like, yeah, this is fine, but the rest of his content can just die.
Which is why when he
Burn
was
in the fire.
which is why when he reviewed Agretzko and shit like that, he was telling people to read feminist literature, and he was and he
Why would I read feminist literature for a manga I want to read?
Yeah.
And he was also talking about like what was it? It was saying how.
I think we know who.
He made the joke saying, "What as if the HR department would do anything against a male boss." And I was like,
Oh my god.
Actually, they do all the time. It's called #MeToo.
"Yeah, I know. That's literally one of my lines."
I think we know who fucking Mother's Basement voted for in the elections. Then.
Yeah.
Trump. Obviously.
No.
I'm against corruption. Not really. I'm funded by Goldman Sachs. All good.
You gotta wonder, like, he probably
No,
fucking
he
has,
voted for Bernie
he probably has a
Sanders.
shrine dedicated to
Wanted
Bernie
to.
Sanders.
I've convinced myself that Mother's Basement isn't the final decider on all of his videos. He has to get permission from his wife
Oof.
to upload.
And she
You
has
mean
to-
Ten
yeah.
Laid, that cosplay sex bot that shills herself for Patreon?
She probably has to consult every one of the fucking like guys that fucking donates to her Patreon first. So
Hey,
Do you think he plays
no,
his Bing Bing
um,
Wahoo with his wife's son?
you know, I don't think Mother's Basement minds all that much because his wife's boyfriend gets him a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
hell
So Mother's Basement is not only this giant fucking shill, but he's also being cucked by Uncle Tyrone. That's just amazing.
Yep.
Tyrone
Yeah.
Magnus.
Yep.
Oh god.
But yeah. Well, what's the chat say? Your thoughts on? We already talked about Darling in the Franxx. Honest question.
Is it above average mecha? That's all I have to say about it.
No, I'm not an incel.
Yeah, he's a former military guy.
That's exactly what
Yeah, he's an
incel would
ex-military
say.
sniper with 500 confirmed kills. Didn't you know that?
Phew.
I was not a sniper, but I did get an expert.
Yeah, I'm a ex-military hacker with 1,000 confirmed hacks.
That's nothing.
And I
Well,
can
okay,
and I can get access to your Microsoft account in 15 seconds.
This
Oh yeah.
bio,
I can
Well, of course-
defragment your hard drive.
bio, freaking 1,000 hacks is like nothing in the military.
Of course it isn't. That's why I left.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
They
right
weren't
now?
impressed.
Yeah, there's more than like 300,000 hacks that happen like
Every
every
second.
single day.
Hey,
What?
can you guys hear me right
Yeah.
now?
Not second. I'm just messing around, but yeah.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Yes.
We have freaking
That
warfare
was a
all the
statistic
time.
from like 5 years ago too.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
you can
we
always
have
growing
meme
exponentially.
warfare. Like the
There's a
fucking
webs-
Russians.
There's a website showing everyone hacking every second, and it shows the blips from where it is, and then
Yeah.
like where it's coming from and who are hacking. You can see this website. and
If you
it's
believe
fucking-
Hillary Clinton, it's all coming from Russia or North Korea.
Yeah, and the statistic I was citing was from like 5 years ago. And when I say hacking, it's a different kind of hack that's trying to get into a system. So it's not just like 300,000 different people trying to get into a system. It's 300,000 different unique
Wow.
codes a day.
Yeah,
It's
That's insane.
because most of.
Oh, you
our-
think that's
most
insane?
of our
I
hacks
took
are-
an IT class, and for our first beginning, we had to learn 20 programming languages.
The hacker known as
20.
Oh shit!
20. What IT class was that?
This is like the fucking beginning class.
That doesn't make any sense.
Wait, what?
20 programming languages?
Yes.
So,
Ridiculous.
Snob, do you have anything to say? Where's Snob?
I've been in a class where we taught.
Say goodbye and fuck up
That
so
was
you can start
a
all the
nightmare
actual
by
chat
a
about it.
former, like Ivy League teacher.
When I took IT, they didn't teach me any fucking programming language.
Yeah, well, we're supposed to learn 20.
That
Okay,
doesn't
well
make-
that's
that's absurd.
okay. Well, can we go
What?
back on anime
Okay.
to anime?
Yeah, anime, please.
Because like
Sorry.
That's the
school
only
is
thing
kind
that-
of
Sorry, I
boring.
guess
and I don't care.
people don't.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing that Snob wants to talk about right now is anime.
Yeah, because
Yeah, that's
I'm not
why.
even
That's
about
why
at
it's
this
called
point,
that
I just
anime
wanna go
snob.
away.
because
It's the only thing that gives
Because
You don't
the-
have to
purpose.
stay here.
no,
You
because
never
the
did.
only two people that has actually been in the military here is me and Snob.
Snob's been in the military.
He's- Yes.
He's
He
Greek.
had- he said he had in his.
Oh yeah,
country-
it's true. You
they have
have to be a
mandatory
Spartan.
visa.
Literally, one of my buddies, the
he was a
lone
cadet,
crack, he's
right?
being sent to the
Yeah.
military next year because if you're Greek and have a penis, you get sent off to the front lines. Congratulations.
And yet people, let me guess. People are still feminists will still say that they're just as good, right?
No,
Even though you get
feminists
sent to
say
front
the
lines.
real casualties of war are the women.
Yep, yeah, they said
Even
that.
though
before.
there's not many women on the front lines.
No, they're saying the real casualties of the war are women
Because
because the men
lose our
die.
families.
No, because the men die.
dies. Yeah.
Oh, do I?
I know, but think of
But
all
yeah.
those lonely housewives that Uncle Tyrone has to entertain.
All right, back to anime,
So many bitches to please.
Okay.
Back to anime.
guys.
Yes,
everyone, come back to anime.
Okay, fine.
Oh, please don't.
So, what's your
So
thoughts on Hellgirl? I have never heard you say anything about Hellgirl. Snob.
Never will you hear me say anything because I didn't watch it.
You
Alright.
never watched Hellgirl?
Well,
Wait
What's
a
your
second.
move?
Wait. You're talking about what was the Japanese name? And I was remembering the other movie.
Shobo, something like that.
Yeah, I've seen it. I thought it was that other movie about Hell Girl. Yes, there's an actual movie about a girl in hell. It's a high school as well.
So, yeah.
Yeah, about it. It's bullshit. JC stuff, right? Episodic.
This is
Tries
the
to be
same-
this.
Wait, hold on. JC
Shut-
Staff. JC Staff isn't it the same studio that fucking did that fucking aria of the Scarlet Ammo?
Scarlet Bullet.
Probably them.
I don't
It's
know.
probably them.
I liked Hellgirl. I just hated the overall plot, and there was a couple
What
of
plot?
plot holes.
What plot? Even
Episodic
that one
plot
changes
holes?
Every season.
Yeah, it is a different plot every season. And that was because at the time they didn't know that they were going to make another season, so they tried to freaking finish it every season. And when doing that, that fucked it up. That
Yeah.
completely fucked it up so hard that that's like the legitimately thing I fucking hate about Hellgirl. It's like, oh my gosh. They try to end.
So it's not.
No, no. Actually, the worst thing about Hellgirl is that its message is both.
why do I
Everyone
hear a
goes to
cat
hell
purring?
The message of Hellgirl is everyone goes to hell eventually,
Oh,
over
sorry.
the pettiest of reasons.
That's my dog
that's
sleeping right now.
Yeah.
Your dog is purring? What the hell?
No, like I got a Boston Terrier, so he snores
I
a
mean,
lot. when he
he's a
sleeps.
girl with a dick.
Oh,
so.
I see.
So why? So question, Snob. What's your opinion on High School DD?
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
I have all
Does
the
anyone
light
care?
novels, and all I can say is it's an above average battle harem that I fucking love to death because Opie Dragon.
Oh my god.
I just like the tits, but I hate it when people try to praise it for the fucking plot. Like, not the tits plot, but they try to say they're like.
Well,
"Oh,
I
it's-
would say that
I'm a
High
man of
School
plot."
DxD does have a it tries more than most ecchi series.
Yeah,
but,
it does have a
it's,
plot,
like,
but the
above
plot
average.
is garbage.
Yeah, of course. Like it
fuck,
tries,
fuck.
but it's still
They- like,
garbage.
you know the part where they try to have the PTSD thing that he had from being killed by his first girlfriend? You only knew the girl for like 1 or 2 days, and yet you're fucking going
Yeah,
crazy.
I actually thought that whole thing was bullshit. Like, I just think that was whole bullshit. Like, you should have had sex with her in that hot spring right then and there.
Basically, they try to say he's such a good protagonist, even though he's basically just an over.
Oh no, he isn't. Like literally.
my
You
God.
know, it's funny. I was in a Discord server and we actually made like Virgin Red Dragon Emperor and Chad X Hero memes. I think I posted on Twitter somewhere.
X Hero? What do you mean X Hero?
Oh, well, took X Hero clan member. It was like it's the dude
Oh,
from
okay, yeah.
Shin Now Mal Testament.
Oh yeah, okay. I mean,
I'm
he's
making
still.
Virgin Chad memes. Who cares?
Here's the thing. They're all basically generic though to begin with. Like fuck.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's just that he actually fucking did something at the end. The guy from Testament.
I know.
But
What's that one show called? Where they're literally sucking out like girls' tits like for breast milk power. Like, Quasars.
Yeah,
Second no Quasar. I actually
Yeah.
watched like 4 episodes of that, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm done. I
I'm
couldn't
curious
watch
who
anymore.
thought that was a good idea.
I did.
Japanese
It would have been
waves.
great. You know, it's funny. That would have been great for hentai, but sucks for everything else.
Yeah, oh yeah. It sucks for everything else.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Snob. What's your views on Bible Black?
It's got Greek thematics, which means it's deep.
So deep. The symbolism.
At least it's not pretending to be some deep story. It gives you exactly what you want.
It's
It
about
looks like-
witchcraft, futa, yuri,
I find
and
it hilarious
Satanism.
because it really looks like a passion project.
Look, man, there's Bibles and shit. That shit must be deep.
You want to know, dude? You want to know
Christian
how?
symbolism.
I can guarantee you this.
First
Okay,
of
you
all,
want,
it's a
I saw a
hentai
cross
plot
in there.
with Greek in it. It's not pretending to be something more than what it is. It's bold, and it ends before it becomes boring.
you want to know how Chibi? You can tell he's a fucking incel. Is that his favorite visual novel is a Yuri game called A Kiss for the Petals.
Oh my god.
What's that?
Oh shit!
Oh my god, A Kiss for the Petals. It's a fucking Yuri game.
I've seen the
Yeah,
CGs
I
for
mean,
that game,
you
and
just
I'm not
told
fucking
me it was a
impressed.
Yuri game. I kind of figured that.
It's about girls going to an all-girls school. The first two fucking games first one involves the girlfriend pissing on the other girl. The second one involves rape themes.
I don't see how that.
Kaiser, we all
makes
know
you
that all
an
girls'
incel.
schools are just lesbian training camps.
Rape.
Oh yeah.
Well, we all know
basically.
that all lesbians are rapists.
I mean, freaking rape is
True
just
facts.
a fetish.
We all know that lesbians actually secretly cannot resist the mating press of an old man.
And
Mm.
They secretly want the dick, but they won't admit it.
They won't admit it because they'll get fucking their tits chopped off by the fucking girls' school they go to.
no, I mean it's easy to know that they secretly want the dick. Just why do lesbians wear strap-ons?
Here's the thing. Why? Here's how you can tell, because those lesbians in those games, they're not fat and ugly. That's how you can tell they want the dick.
Yeah, they're not freaking blue armpit hair.
Yeah, they're taking care of themselves in a world where men are usually the ones who are interested in them. So
No.
obviously they're taking care of themselves because I mean, fuck.
No, they're just idealized.
I fucking
in plain
despise the
sight.
fat positivity movement. It's
Oh
like,
my
Jesus
God.
fucking Christ.
Look at me.
Butch
I'm a
lesbians
beautiful
don't want other
baby.
butch lesbians. They want the feminine girls.
Well, here's the thing. Most lesbians are fucking butch lesbians.
And they want all that small, cute, feminine girls. They don't want other butch lesbians. They
Guys,
don't want that shit.
Are we out of questions? Because I'm kind of bored here.
Alright.
Yeah,
I think I-
same.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
you can
you guys
laugh.
are literally bitching about bullshit that no one gives
Oh,
a
yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
about.
Okay. Fine.
No one cares.
Everyone, we'll start making our outros. The best for last. So first, let's go. What's
You
your
guys are
name?
literally talking
Kaiser
about
Trigger.
fucking lesbians. Seriously.
Hi, I'm Kaiser Trigger. I do anime reviews. I do whatever the fuck I want to do. Okay, I don't do a schedule, so I don't want to become an angry Joe. And also, I finally purchased my fucking helmet.
Congratulations.
Shut up.
Congratulations.
I saw your freaking face reveal.
No, I mean I actually purchased the helmet so I can wear my avatar's
Yeah,
helmet.
but I saw your face reveal. Your
I don't care.
video. I was like,
Now I know where
I
you
was
live.
looking, and I was like, what the hell?
Why
I
Snob?
did not
Okay,
expect
okay.
that. You kind of
Okay,
look like
Snob wants.
you kind
Yeah,
of look
Snob
like.
wants to leave, so be quick about it.
All right, you just look like a rusty cage if he was dark
Oh my god.
and pissed off at 24/7.
Oh my fucking god.
Kevin, your turn.
Well, I'm the professional trapologist, the only one, and Twitter has been thoroughly fucking me in the ass lately. I got my account been
Twitter
suspended.
fucks everybody in the ass.
My account's been suspended forever, and all my alts keep getting constantly locked.
And you and your love life is actually Nazism thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he loves he loves traps. Astolfo is his waifu.
Biomechanics.
Yes.
I love traps as well. I think me and you will get along perfectly.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay.
I have a brother in you.
Plot, your turn.
I was right. I am here just to suffer, and it just
As we
never
all are.
seems to end.
Rika Fag.
I'm Rika Fag. Yeah, Snob, just release that Higurashi video. That would be fucking great. I would love that.
Alright.
No, I'm serious.
The only thing you
Like-
can say, isn't it?
Like despite our disagreement about Higurashi, I do think that your Higurashi video that you made needs to be released because it's one of the best videos on Higurashi on YouTube.
Until you find my.
constructs
So I
expectations.
do my own, obviously.
Or until I beat it.
It constructs all your expectations of what it's actually about, and it makes you think about stuff.
No, until
Yeah.
Rika Fag
Not
sees
really.
my video.
I just think that it's good. That also you should check out my channel. It's one of the best channels on YouTube, etc.
Yeah, named Dot.
Oh my god, Mr. Stop being such a shill. God.
Yeah, Michelle.
He's
No,
trying
but
to be.
I
He
do-
wants
I
to,
do-
he wants to
I-
embody the
Have
spirit
you
of
actually watched my monster video? Because I know you watched Monster, but I remember like
Yeah.
my video getting shared on your
Wait,
Reddit. I think.
there's
Like,
one question I have for Snob. I just remembered. What do you think of Alexander?
The YouTuber.
Yes.
I haven't watched enough to say something specific about him, so I'll pass on this one.
All right, because he's my favorite Annie-tuber.
Okay.
More than I am?
Yeah.
Oh,
Heresy.
You're not snob enough to realize your mistake there.
Oh, by the way, Snob, I got a quick question. How many times have you been cucked before? I'm just really curious.
How many times have you, as a fat Greek, how many times have you been cucked?
This is why.
Well, Digibro's cucked him with his girlfriend. I think Forever's cucked him with his girlfriend. Mother's Basement's cucked him with his girlfriend. Like,
Oh, actually, I do have
a
a question for Snob.
For him to be cucked, it would imply he could get a girl.
Okay, I do actually have a question for Snob.
You could probably
though.
get Mother's Basement's girl though.
So there was a video you did. I think it was a short video, but it was a while ago where you were talking about Chibi, and Chibi was there. Chibi, you were playing those clips in, but you started off the video kind of like saying, like it wasn't it wasn't any of the videos I've seen, but you were like almost talking in a sexual tone to Chibi, like when you said something stupid, you're like, oh Chibi, like something like that.
You just
And I've
reminded
never-
me of
Chibi
the
Hada.
question I wanted to ask. Snob, why do you only have like 2 videos that barely mention Double for Anime? Adam,
His bullshit are so obvious they don't even need to be clipped.
damn it, Riga, you won.
Wait, what did you say?
I exposed the truth of the pretentious asshole. She's not pretending. He's an actual asshole.
He's also a spastic faggot as well. You forgot that as well.
I just thought.
And yeah, he's
How would,
gay.
how would you
Once-
like it if I started stabbing you liver and that shit?
Have you seen the clip of him where he's with a fucking sniper rifle going like, bruh, bruh,
Yes,
bruh?
that is
Oh
so
my God.
funny that actually.
No, and the worst part of it,
No,
he's
no,
in
no.
half a fucking suit and wearing boxers.
What I'm saying is that was
You know
so.
what's funny? There's actually a Left
No,
4
no,
Dead
no, no.
2 mod,
What I'm trying to say is-
where your guns can actually make
God
that
damn it.
noise. And it's like, bruh, 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 bruh.
What I'm trying to say is that was so funny that I actually brought him up on my scale, my Annie-tuber scale. Oh wait,
What?
I don't think I've ever shown Snob the Annie-tuber scale.
Oh god, not that fucking chart.
Snob, how many Annie-tubers do you follow?
He
5 or
follows
6.
all of them, obviously.
5 or 6?
I checked them out on my list, but I don't follow them.
Okay. So you were doing outros.
Yeah. And
I didn't do my outro yet.
Okay.
All right, you could do yours.
Hi, I'm Bio Gundam. I just make anime and manga reviews and whatever the fuck else I feel like doing, and random artist and ship posting comments. Thank you, Unknown Otaku, for having me on, and this was fun, and hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Yeah.
All right. Now.
I'm gonna leave now because I've got my exercises to do and I gotta go to sleep.
All right,
So
go
this was great. Peace out. See you guys later.
I'm the Unknown Otaku. I'm someone that follows almost every single Annie-tuber on the fucking website. Just. And,
But Snob, you didn't really answer. Did you actually watch my monster video?
No.
Oh, motherfucker.
and now we have the best for last. Snob, make your outro. Promote whatever you want.
I'm that future Digi, bro.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh, he confirms it, so it has to be true.
Donate to Snob's Patreon.
Yeah, subscribe to me
That
so I can
future Digi
prove
bro
my
dot
future
com.
self
how
wrong.
the mighty have fallen.
Okay. Snob, do your outro.
Yeah.
That was his
And
outro.
subscribe to my channel so you can prove my past self wrong again, because I can get to over 10,000 subs twice. And then make sure to flag my non-porn games as porn, because that's how YouTube works these days. And then complain about porn games having plot but no sex, but Gintama otherwise has plot and no sex. So after that, I want you to know that you're all wrong. Whatever you're going to say, it's wrong if you disagree with me. You have to watch my videos to understand what I mean. Higurashi shit.
Oh no.
My Hero Katana is pretentious. And this was a total waste of time, because why do I bother to join you plebs when you have like 200 subscribers or some shit?
I have
I have
60.
Because here's the thing, we're all plebs. Every person, there is no such thing as a person who isn't a
Snob,
pleb.
he has more
Snob,
than
I have
he has more than
17,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
and over 1 million views.
And like one of my videos
one
is like
video.
about Star Wars, and
Riga Fag's
it's like
the
one of the
biggest
best
one
videos on YouTube.
In a
I
single
don't sure if you
video,
know this, Snob, but I have 100,000
Snob,
subscribers.
in a
I'm very
single
important
video,
person.
he got more subs than you ever had.
If it's that good, I'm just that good, you know. Not to brag, obviously.
So,
Okay,
No, but-
next show to mention you had a chat. Wink,
Yeah.
wink.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much for my intro. I'm just shilling myself.
yeah,
The end.
Yeah,
we
it's
just
fine.
we just wanted to have you on. It's more of a shit and giggles and have fun thing.
Yeah, it's fun. It was fun. I like. Oh fuck.
Oh yeah, lots of fun. I finally got rid of my blue balls.
We did the one thing that a lot of anti-tubers were actually too scared of. We contacted the
I think
snob.
Chibi would literally shit his pants.
Yeah. Actually, if you want to blame somebody, you can blame me because I shared your Twitter to them. They didn't fucking know that you had a Twitter.
Alright, so yeah,
Who
Snob
cares
this
about
week.
Twitter? It's
Cheating
just so you
next
can
week.
say stuff you cannot say in your actual videos.
Now, I knew he
Are you
had
sure
a Twitter.
about that? You
I
sure?
just couldn't remember what his Twitter was.
Where am I in that list, by the way? I don't see my
Because
face on my avatar.
I made this a little while ago, like I would say 14 days ago. And remember when I said I put a binge?
Sure.
Alright, well that was fun.
Aw.
That's it.
Reconnected.
Yeah,